sweet souls, and welcome back to Goddess of Bliss Tarot. I am so excited to have you guys back and to be in front of the camera this time. I just figured I'm always thinking of ways to make my channel better for you guys. I am honestly so grateful for each and every one of you. So you guys inspire me to be better, and I figured that it just felt like this was the right next step towards making this a better channel for you. Plus, it's kind of fun, and it makes it easier to be a little bit more relatable. That way you kind of know who your reader is as a person, as opposed to just a pair of hands. So today's pick a card reading I'm excited about because we are going to be doing a year ahead tarot prediction for all of 2022. Now, this is just going to be a general pick a card reading. Stick around because I am going to be doing the same reading but for romance for all of 2022 after this video. So after I've after I have finished recording it, I will go ahead and I'll post the link down below. So you have that to look forward to as well. Now, let's look at the obvious really quick. We are over halfway through January, well along through January, so kind of a late start. Yes, but here is my feeling towards it, and a part of why I wanted to push it forward a little bit. Sometimes when you are watching a year ahead pick a card reading, as it gets further and further into the reading, I personally, and people that I know, get a little incredulous. Like, some of the things that you hear, you're just like, there's no way. There's no way that's going to happen. What are you talking about? There's no way. So I feel like because we change so much, even just on a 3-month increment basis, let alone a year basis, a year-long basis, I feel like we need an anchor. Because when I'm watching those videos and say I get really, really amazing or exciting news that comes up in August that I have to look forward to, sometimes I'm a little torn because I really want to claim it, and I still will. Of course, you can always claim what you want and banish what you don't want. That's the perks of tarot. You know, we still have free will. It just gives us a heads up on things, which is very useful for the good and the bad. But I digress. So because we are starting fairly late into January, let's go ahead and use January as a tester card. Therefore, you guys are going to be able to use January as a further affirmation that you have selected the correct pile. So let's say you select a certain pile. I pull the card for January and I'm going through it, and you're just like, no, this isn't vibing. And that pile probably isn't for you. You can feel free to continue watching your pile that you initially selected, but I would recommend maybe going back to the pile selection, taking a few deep breaths in and out, recentering yourself, and then trying again. So we're going to use that as a further affirmation, which makes it a little more exciting, because then later on in the year, when you get this good news and your logical mind wants to pop up and be like, no, that's too good to be true. That doesn't make sense. You can counter. You can counter with the fact that, well, I don't know. I did select the pile where she was going through the January card, and it vibed with how my January has gone so far. So you can take that process or leave it, whatever resonates best for you, but I figured I would provide us that extra opportunity for an anchor. So super stoked to do this. Without further ado, let's jump ahead and go to the pile selection. I'm still new. It's rough. I know. We'll get there. I'll see you guys there. Hello, sweet souls. Alrighty, so when you're ready, let's all take a deep breath in and release. And then you're going to select whichever pile calls out to you the most. That is going to be the pile with your messages. So each of these cards, that is going to symbolize your overall influence, your overall kind of theme of the year. And then we're going to break it down into 12 different cards just for each month throughout the year within each pile. So this is pile number 1. This is a quartz crystal. I highly recommend meditating with any quartz crystals that you have. You can charge and cleanse them with the moon. Yeah, for those of you who like this pile, you may be super into crystals because this one's like jumping. It's ready to go. Okay, this is black obsidian, pile number 2. This is a really good crystal for shielding, cleansing as well. Very strong crystal. Pile number 3. So try as I may. I tried so hard, you guys. Like I couldn't though. Like my body would not let me pick up anything else other than this. I was just like, come on, like let me pick a crystal. And it was just like, nope. She wanted to be front and center. So you guys have this lovely little piece of wood for your guys's. Maybe this is a sign I need to get some petrified wood. That is a cool crystal. Okay, whenever you guys are ready, go ahead and select your link down below, and I will see you in your pile. Bye, guys. Hi, pile ones. If you selected the quartz crystal, then welcome to your pile. We'll go ahead and we'll set that aside. Your guys' card, ooh, the Page of Voices. Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of new beginnings, a lot of new adventures. Typically this card talks about new intellectual beginnings, new ways of thought, but these mountains are kind of, yeah, these mountains are kind of pulling my attention as well. I think that this is going to be a year of you guys forming these new kind of brilliant thoughts and perspectives, and then finding the ideal way to pull them down into the 3D, how to make these dreams, these thoughts, these repetitive belief systems that keep cycling through your mind. You're going to start to see the manifestation of them. So you can either use that to your advantage, and be mindful of the process, be aware of the process, or let the process happen to you. In which case, whatever you're mainly thinking on and focusing on this year, you're going to see it, most of it, come into the 3D. You're going to manifest it, come into the real world. So if you want to see something that you want, that you desire in the 3D and the real world, that's going to want to be your focus. But either way, lots of new beginnings for this pile. So, all right, I have a bunch of different decks that we're going to use. I'm just going to kind of intuitively draw from each one. But so let's go ahead and start. Let's look and see how your January has gone so far. Okay. Okay, so integration in reverse. I'm seeing you guys being fairly out of balance. Some of you may be focusing, that may be your goal. Some of you are already aware of this, and you're really trying to come within and achieve that inner balance and end that kind of inner turmoil. But a lot of you, oh man, I'm just seeing a lot of resistance of that. Let me get, I'm gonna pull one more card for that one. Yeah, this is all just beginning of big life changes. Oh, yeah. Okay, yep, you guys have another major arcana. It's number 5, Shaman. 5 is the number of change. Shaman, this is all about healing, bringing things into emotional balance for you, divine wisdom, spiritual power. So, my pile ones, you guys have had a pretty profound first month. Some big changes, and or you're resisting really big changes. Oh my gosh, the struggle is real. There we go. You're out of balance right now though, guys. And the key to that, the key to the universe showing you this is that it's only in acknowledging it and becoming aware of it that you can do something about it. It kind of feels like it's reiterating that very first message that we got with the Page of Voices, which is just the Page of Swords in traditional tarot. Interesting. You're definitely of two minds about something. I see you guys being really tired of transforming, really tired of the effort that goes into transforming. Let's see what we get for pile number, or not pile number 2, sorry. Month number 2, pile 1. That is too many, Spirit. Oh, that one wanted to stay. Okay, so we have 3 of Acorns, which is 3 of Pentacles in reverse, Foresight and Exploration in reverse. That's interesting. Okay, because we were talking about with this card, exploration and adventure. So when cards come up in reverse, that can mean one of two things. That can either mean that the energy is blocked, but it can also indicate something that's going on deep within. And so that's just saying, I'm seeing next month a lot of this energy continuing. It's going to feel much less intense though, but it's going to, you're going to be maintaining that focus within. I'm not seeing a big collaborative focus here. The Three of Pentacles upright traditionally talks about that. For some reason though, I'm getting 3 of Wands vibes from this. Foresight and exploration. I'm pretty sure Acorns in this deck is Pentacles, but it's giving me 3 of Wands vibes too. 3 of Wands also talks about exploration and expansion. And so this is just saying, next month, I see you guys still not really ready to venture out into the world. This could also be as simple as some of you have certain New Year's resolutions or goals that you just started, and you kind of want to keep them private, keep them to yourselves before you really broadcast them to the world or like share that you're doing them, right? You want some affirmative like progress, right? That's in the 3D, where say your goal is weight loss, right? Before you tell people like, oh yeah, this year I'm working on losing weight, like you want to lose a little bit first before you do that. But it's also deeper than that. Any goals that you guys have, this is starting out really big. This is you actually going through and looking at your goal and asking yourself, why do I even want this? What is the true drive behind this? And within that positive inner spiral and inner exploration, then you're going to be able to rebound and come back forth with all of these ideas of creativity. And eventually you're going to be able to share all of it, because what goes down must come back up. But you have to invest this energy into yourself first, I'm seeing. Let's see what's going on for March. And I do shuffle and cleanse all of these decks beforehand as well. Ooh. Clarity for sure. Queen of Swords. Okay, so Queen of Swords, she's still not the most social of the queens. So first 3 months, I'm seeing things being relatively
solo for you, not isolated by any means, right? Like, you can still obviously, of course, maintain your social and family, loved ones circles, like, but you're gonna have more of a self focus, which is perfectly okay. Swords again, interesting. So swords talk about, they represent thought, and words. So I'm seeing this March, you guys are gonna feel really in your power with the way that you're thinking about things. You're gonna be approaching things fairly logically. There's not gonna be a ton of emotion behind it, which is really nice, coming from a lot of like confusion. And I mean, inherently there are emotional blockages that are really unpleasant that I'm seeing over here, which is also a part of the reason why you guys are kind of keeping the innermost workings of yourself to yourselves. But so I'm just seeing that being symbolized, those kind of muddy emotions with these clouds. And she's not even like paying attention to the clouds because her logic is cutting through everything. She has the truth. And looking forward, she is willing to start sharing this truth with other people. Some of you are going to start teaching what you've learned. Seeing even like beginning, I want to say personal training or coaching. That could be large scale or small scale, right? So this could be a younger sibling or a friend or even a fellow coworker that you kind of, they come to you and you feel kind of guided to take them under your wing and to show them things. Don't force that. I'm not seeing that being forced. I'm just seeing that kind of naturally being a thing that arises. Let's see what's going down in April. April, Spirit, pile number one. Page again. Interesting, but now Page of Wands, Page of Pentacles, Two of Cups in reverse. Okay, yeah, so still solo focus, Two Cups in reverse. I'm not really seeing, I'm not necessarily seeing like disharmony here per se. There might be a little bit. That starts to arise from the fact that you are so self-focused right now. And again, when I say self-focused, it's like self-investment, it's self-care, self-exploration. You're going to be learning a lot about yourself and the way that you tick and why you tick and like how you can not manipulate, what's the word? Like hijack? Manipulate's the best word I can think of right now. But like manipulate your inner workings and channel them towards positive outcomes, kind of. So come April, some of your friends and your family members, they might start to feel a little, maybe a little bit like, oh, this person really just isn't putting any energy into this. What's going on? So there might be a few emotional rifts. I'm actually not surprised to see that after the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords, she is brilliant. She is a genius, but she's very blunt and forward and logical and not emotional. She is the least emotional of all four queens. Although she is a queen, not the King of Swords here. So that's why I'm saying, like, it's not gonna be, it's not like I'm seeing the Lovers reversed, right? It's just the Two of Cups. So this will just be temporary for this month, but that might be something that you want to take a greater look at. This also can indicate now that you are in a place of strength coming from March and moving into April, where you you just don't care to deal with the bullshit anymore, quite frankly. Like, that's how this is seen. Like, you have the Sword of Truth now, and it took you so much work to get it. Like, you're not letting go of it. It's too valuable. You're not going, so you're cutting through illusions. You're not buying into them. So you may, the positive takeaway from that is that you may start cutting away friendships that no longer serve you, relationships that no longer serve you. especially the ones where there's no equal give and take. But again, I'm just seeing a big self-focus, self-development, self-improvement, you could say, kind of year. So Page of Pentacles and Page of Wands. So, okay, pages, again, this is really, you have three pages now. What's the only one we're missing? Page of Cups. Page of Cups is only, and that's the emotional one. Interesting. Okay. No emotional new beginnings yet, I'm seeing, but it's kind of cute. Okay, so Page of Pentacles and Page of Wands. So Pentacles, again, that's the 3D. Okay, so remember how we were talking about with this guy, how we were talking about catalyzing, being a catalyst for these thoughts and manifesting them and bringing them down into the 3D. So these first 3 months, you guys are really up in this mind space. But then when you get to April, you're finally able to start bringing them down into the real world. So you're going to be really inspired by these ideas. The Page of Wands talks about kind of like ruthless inspiration, ruthless in any of the pages. They have that youth behind them, where they're not really hindered by a lot of like naysayers, or they still have that kind of inherent it's more than hope. What is it? It's just that youthful energy. And so this is kind of like you found your passion and you are not letting it go. You're going towards it and you're really excited about it. So this is finding something that you're passionate about and finding something that's worth investing in. Page of Pentacles. So this is saying that all of this hard work and really sorting out your thoughts and bringing your perspectives and finding clarity, that's coming together, and you're going to be able to start identifying things that are worth investing in and that really interest you. And so the fact that both of these came up together is showing me that you guys are really this is going to be the beginning of you experiencing that inner balance, because this kind of looks like the same person. Even the clothing looks the same. And the page, Pentacles are all 3D, right? And so this is the beginning, any Pentacles cards is the beginning of a long-term investment. So you're going to be finding some new interests, some new passions, and you're going to begin investing in them. You're going to make different choices about which ones bring you the most fire, that spark you up the most. And then you're going to be starting that this April. And it's interesting because it looks like in doing that, you're naturally going to cut away. It's not going to have to necessarily be a super harsh conversation with someone. It can be, because we do have the Queen of Swords here, and she is one of the masters of communication. But it doesn't have to necessarily be conflict based, because you know how when we get out of high school and we all just kind of go our separate ways because we found our own little niches, and then that kind of just began to grow, and then now we just grow apart. We're just totally different people. I'm seeing the beginning of that happening here in April for you. So naturally, by becoming more invested in these newfound thoughts and ideas, and beginning to put them into action this April, that's just going to kind of naturally carry you away from any relationships that no longer serve you. So there doesn't need to be any fear-based energy here about this Two of Cups reversed. The universe isn't going to take away from you something that is in alignment with you. It's only going to take away things that are out of alignment with you. So let's see what's going on in May. May. Ooh, that was fast. Okay, this is number 12. What is it again in this deck? Hang on, guys. guys. Let me double check. Okay, sorry about that, guys. This is a new deck. It's a very odd one too, which is why I love it. So this is the Hanged Man in this deck. See how she's of two minds about something? It's interesting that this is coming up in reverse, because upright this talks about finding new perspective, expanding your consciousness, looking at things in a new way, which is kind of what we've been talking about. That's kind of been the story the whole time. So it's interesting that this card came up in reverse. I'm gonna pull another card for that. Let's get a clarifier, please, Spirit, for the Hanged Man in reverse. Okay. Nothing is set in stone. Don't let the past hold you back. It's time to release negativity. Okay. So, for some of you, that Two of Cups in reverse that came up in April, some of you are gonna let it everyone's gonna let it impact them in different ways. Some of you, you're really not gonna like the thought of losing that comfort zone, and even if the enjoyments cost more than what they're worth, the enjoyments of certain connections, you're not gonna like that these new perspectives could cause you to fall out of alignment with other people. For most of you though, this is also you, I see you really reevaluating and taking a big pause in your life. There's a little bit of fear-based energy here. It's interesting that we have so many feathers here as well, because that does represent, the feather can also symbolize swords. So this is, okay. The relationship thing aside, which again is just a possibility, and it's an important reminder that these are collective readings, so not every single message is going to be for you. So just take what resonates, leave the rest, okay? But so for those of you that outside of the relationship aspect, this is you still being of two minds about things. Like this is a really life-changing year. By the end of 2022, you're gonna look back and think back to January, and you're just gonna be an entirely different person. Like genuinely an entirely different person, because there's so much self-focus, self-development, like really putting your beliefs under a magnifying glass and see if they truly hold up to what you think that they should. See if they hold up to truth. You're going to be testing truths. And so this is, again, you just really wanting to be sure of your perspective. So that's why we have nothing yet is set in stone. Like you want to get solid on it. And some of you as well may be finding, this is interesting, another message that's coming through is some of you may be finding, as well as these profound truths, like these perspectives that are deeply positive, and that is counterintuitive wiring to some old defense mechanisms that we had, to some old residual negative belief systems and viewpoints that are based off of old history, old traumas, old breakups, old just hurt, old pain. So you're really going to be looking at how that old pain that you've been holding on to, you know, I think of it as like flinching over something that you don't need to flinch about. You're going to really be addressing those, looking at those. For some of you, this can be really deep, like getting deep into therapy, starting therapy even, identifying your triggers. Others of you will be taking that one step further and really evaluating how your triggers and your viewpoints clash or collide with other people, including your loved ones. And then you're going to be readdressing how you want to navigate and manage those relationships. But most importantly, you're going to be a little bit afraid of the fact that you have found this newfound passion and you've started investing in it, because I'm seeing that you're going to start to see a little bit of reward, but just a little bit. So there's kind of this energy of like, oh my gosh, I started to, crawl in this new direction and I can't run yet. Was I right? Am I really headed in the right direction? Like, was this all just some smoke that I was buying into? Was it actually clarity? There's going to be a lot of introspection here that's going to be going on. If you don't make time for this introspection, life will make you make time. So make sure you're taking care of yourself. When we see the Hanged Man in reverse, that can indicate, like, it's not saying that you're going to get sick, but it can indicate stuff like that, where just problems come up in your life that kind of force you to just sit and look at life, especially when you don't want to. So, May, you'll be taking the time, whether you want to or not, to really reevaluate these big questions and how they impact your relationships. And you'll be focused on like the meaning that it has brought to your past for some reason. It's kind of like, oh gosh, what's the saying? It's kind of like an all or nothing energy that I'm getting, but a lot of second guessing, because there's going to be some of those old residual blocks that are pain-based and fear-based that will start to challenge, that will begin to challenge these really positive transformations. And once you address them, this is like you being able to do things beyond what you even thought you were capable of. This is all about challenging the limitations of the stories that we tell ourselves and the stories that we allow others to tell us. This is deep, you guys. It's time to release negativity. I still see you wanting to keep things to yourself a bit, which is good, right? Because when we're in the creation process, if you think of a little seedling, if any of you have ever grown anything as a seed indoors and then had to transplant it outdoors, you have to wait till it gets to a certain, till it gets to like a certain length, a certain level of strength and sturdiness before it's ready for you to transplant it into the outside world. So it's kind of like treating your new sense of mind, your new sense of development, and this new budding sense of self, kind of treating it like that seedling. You want to keep its exposure kind of limited, right? Just keep it personal. You don't need the whole world knowing. You don't need a Facebook status broadcasting what you're doing. I don't know why that message came through, but it did. Maybe some of you too will be taking a bit of a what's it called? Social media hiatus break. But overall, you're really going to be looking at what effects your past has had on you, and you're going to be feeling the effects of having started in this new positive direction, this new exciting, awesome, powerful direction. And then these old past habits and perspectives are going to begin to clash with it. And because those energies don't align, you're going to be forced to really take a hard look and choose which energy you want to allow to dissipate, hopefully your past, the ones that don't serve you, and then which energy you want to allow to expand and to grow, which is a whole part of this whole thing, right? It's all about expansion, discovery. So let's go ahead and I want to use this deck again for June. June, please. Wow. Knight of Swords. Holy crap, you guys. Okay, Knight of Swords and then Seven of Swords. So much swords energy. I mean, it makes sense that your overall theme was a swords card. Interesting. Okay. So this is, again, all about choosing the ideas that you want to reinforce in your life. The Seven of Swords can talk about sneakiness, betrayal sometimes, dreams that you're keeping hidden. I want to move on to July and see how the two play off of each other. I think a lot of this is as you move forward, it's again you just kind of keeping this to yourself, because sneakiness and keeping secrets, it doesn't always have to entail negative things. Yeah, it doesn't always have to entail negative things. Some of your friends might be a little intimidated by how much you're changing, because that can happen as well. When we make vast, drastic changes to who we are, sometimes the people that we love try and hold on tight. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, that makes sense with the Two of Cups reversed. Sometimes they want to hold on tight because they don't recognize this new you yet, and it makes them uncomfortable because it forces them to challenge their own belief systems and to look at their own limitations of what's been holding them back. So, oh, wow. Okay. That's what it was. That's what it was. Okay. So if that happens, just understand, don't take it personally. Like, they're secretly really inspired by what you're doing, but their own kind of defense mechanisms are coming forward, and they kind of just want you to stay the same. And we've all done it, subconsciously or otherwise. When we see someone start to change, we start to get a little bit alarmed. So there's a little bit of just privacy. I'm seeing more so than sneakiness here. It might feel like sneakiness, but it's really just like everyone kind of keeping their motives and their deepest beliefs to themselves. Ooh. Oh, look at that. Judgment for July. You guys have so much major arcana. I can't get over this. Holy cow. Okay. This is you feeling revived. This is you feeling reborn. This feels like peace and renewal. Oh yes. This is like the full-blown culmination of everything that you have been working towards. This whole first half of the year is just kind of like the creation process, you kind of settling in, dealing with the consequences of it. But come July, if you stick this out, this is like, feeling in my heart, like everything just feels good. Again, you'll be able to tap into your emotional body without having to question everything, because your sense of self is no longer feeling challenged or picked at. And it's not necessarily, again, a bad thing for your sense of self to feel challenged. That's essential for growth, especially when you are the one in charge of that growth and in control of that growth. So this will be very like self-empowerment focused first half of the year, which is really, really just very empowering energy. But come July, you're going to feel like a well-oiled machine. Life is going to start to click into place. And honestly, it's not going to take that long for your friends and for your family, your loved ones to come along, to come around and to really identify you as this new you as you. So an example that's coming to mind here is I used to do every diet under the sun. It was super unhealthy, but that is the old past me. Old Bliss, not current. But so my family was very used to these kind of yo-yo diets every month with something new. And eventually I was always very carnivorous. I loved my protein. I was very athletic. I was very stuck on that story. And then eventually, for whatever reason, I just decided, I'm going to go a month without eating meat. And then that turned into a whole slew of like doing documentaries and doing research on how animals are treated, mass agriculture, things like that. Needless to say, by the end of the month, I was a full-fledged vegan, 1,000%. And my family was just kind of like, yeah, sure. Like they clashed with the idea greatly, because it's so different from the rest of the family. Like even still to this day, I'm vegetarian now with vegan moments, but even still to this day, I'm the only plant-based person in our family. And so they struggled with that transition a little bit, but also they just figured it was another phase. They didn't really take it seriously with the seriousness that I wanted them to, that I expected them to, which is what gave me this kind of like, not shame, but kind of like you feel like you have to hide yourself a little bit to keep from being attacked. But eventually they learned quite quickly, I'm seeing for you guys, that this is just who I am now. I just am plant-based. That is who I am. This is not a phase. This is a whole new way of looking at the world and connecting with the world. And I'm seeing you guys going through your own various forms of something similar to that. And then come July, that's when everything falls into place for you. True inner peace within your mind is going to be achieved as well. Inner acceptance, outer acceptance. Oh, July is going to be a rockin' month for you guys. Okay, let's see. Let's use this deck again for August. And as I say that, we get 3 of Pentacles in reverse. I'm gonna get a clarifier card for this one. You guys are gonna have okay, complicated is a negatively charged word, so I want to take away the negativity of that word for a second. You guys are gonna have a slightly complicated year, but it's all really like it's very rich. It's a very, very rich year. It's gonna be good. It might be a little, self-development is never fun, right? Going to the gym is never like, oh my gosh, I love this. As your muscles are just like on fire. But once you get into the hang of it, you're kind of like, actually, yeah, I want to go to the gym. That sounds kind of nice. I'm seeing that kind of experience here. A lot of gym and nutrition-based stories are coming through for you. So maybe this is gonna be like a turning over a new leaf with health, right? Where it's no longer just, oh, I'll go to the gym on occasion. It's an actual like, oh, okay, like my heart needs this. I have a family history of X, so in order to prevent that, I'm gonna do Y, that kind of thing. It's taking a very serious look at life, integrating it, and then finding new core beliefs. And it's all gonna be positive new core beliefs, right? So this is definitely growth forward. 3 of Pentacles in reverse. This is still keeping things to yourself though, keeping to yourself. This is a very community focused card. So I still see you feeling a little kind of fragile as far as sharing this new you with the world, because now you're like kind of running, but you don't necessarily want to do that with other people yet. You still want, oh gosh, yeah, it's that same story we were talking about earlier, where you kind of want to feel a little bit more sure-footed before you start to share that with other people. So you'll still be keeping to yourself in August. Take time to breathe out. Okay, so August is going to be, Judgment's gonna be like very celebratory. everything's gonna kind of come. It's gonna be a very exciting month. And so come August, you're kind of just gonna be like, okay, that was a lot. Time to relax, especially for my introverts out there. You know how you kind of feel after a long party? It's kind of like, okay, let's just relax and recenter and focus on self-care. So it'll be a very calming month for you. It does have a very calming energy. You guys are going to be very good at putting up healthy boundaries and maintaining healthy boundaries. Let's look at September. Oh, 2 cards. Traveling and totality. Ooh. Okay. So come September, you're really going to be full-blown committed to this change. Really passionate about it. Some of you might be going on an actual trip in September. I'm seeing as well. Ooh, that's exciting. Your September is going to be after the kind of rest, though. Look at the clash in these colors. Very like cool. This is nighttime kind of energy, and then this is like reds, passionate, fiery. As the sun is here, so you're gonna flip-flop back into this very passionate energy. See, being revitalized here as well. Oh, and then look, we were talking about these mountains. We have mountains here, yeah. So you guys might actually like go out and physically explore somewhere. Ooh, that sounds fun. Let's do this deck. We'll do this one again. Ooh. Ooh, okay. Let's look at October. 10 of Wands in reverse. That is a beautiful card to come up in reverse. We like 10 of Wands in reverse. Yeah. Responsibility, dedication in reverse. Oh, that sounds so nice. This is you finally letting go of responsibilities that no longer serve you. This is also the end of a really arduous journey. Ooh, so I'm gonna pull these other 2 cards, but this could be the end of kind of the harder aspects of self-improvement and self-development. Get November. Chariot in reverse. Okay. Okay, December. The Devil reverse. So many major arcana. This is insane. What the crap? This is life-changing year. Okay, for those of you who very restorative. For those of you who don't know, major arcana cards, they are a really big deal. They represent, when they come up, it's a very, very serious aspect to come up in a reading. They represent major life themes, something that every single person, every single human has to experience along in their journey. It just entails being human. As opposed to things like wands or swords especially. Swords are very fleeting energy. The energy is long-lasting and deeply, deeply impactful. So the fact that you have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I feel like you had more. Even then, 6 out of 12 cards that are major arcana. This is going to be massive, life transforming for you. So many exciting new beginnings, and at the end of the year it will have all paid off, because I see you breaking free from these chains. We didn't get the Devil up, right? Where you're still struggling, where you're still dealing with, I mean, look at these people. They're shackled to these ideas that prevent them from living their best lives. It came up in reverse. That means by December, you're really going to be like, you're gonna have that full encapsulation. Is that a word? Encapsulation? Where you're just gonna, everything's just gonna come full circle. You will have finally beat whatever comes to mind right now when I say this. What is your worst habit? Your number one worst for you habit? There's a pretty large chance that that is going to be what you are changing. Now, say your worst habit was something like, oh, I binge watch Netflix. Let's say it's something right like that looks simple. It's not simple. It's not simple, honey. It's just not. Because I see this process up here where you're like, okay, I want to do that less. I want to start replacing that with things that are good for me. But what's good for me that I would actually enjoy, that would actually, be sustainable for me? Because I can't replace it with something that's not sustainable. So what do I really like? And then you start down this spiral of like, well, okay, do I like this more? Do I like this more? Like, why do I like that more? And then when you start to find that, you're going to ask yourself, well, why was I wasting so much time with this massive distraction? What am I distracting myself from? What kind of voids am I trying to fill? And I'm telling you, it's just going to spiral until you start to get actual answers that you want. Once you have those answers, they are going to grow into these new beautiful belief systems. These new beautiful belief systems and thought patterns are going to manifest into new beautiful behaviors. Those new beautiful behaviors are going to sustain into new beautiful habits. And eventually that's going to build up into you breaking this huge habit, because the devil is a major arcana card as well. So this isn't just some easy breezy thing that you are going to be overcoming. This is a massive accomplishment. Massive accomplishment. Yeah, so from, just to kind of sum up these last few cards, from, let's see, August to December, well, yeah, August to December, there's going to be kind of that, it's like a calmer energy. So even in September, when we have this totality and this traveling, yes, this is going to be very exciting, but it's going to be fun is the thing here. Okay, it's going to be fun, which means it's going to be healing. The release of all of this burden, this weight, is going to be healing. The release of constantly pushing forward, which is the negative aspect of the Chariot. It's kind of like butting your head up against a brick wall because you're just determined to get the brick wall to budge, and it doesn't budge. It's kind of like doing the same thing day after day and expecting the same result. November, you're going to be able to look at that and really reflect on it, and you'd be like, no, I'm really done with that. That's not serving me. Some of you too are going to get super into your healthy eating. It's going to be super cemented because this is going to be the beginning of the holidays. And so you're going to kind of start looking back and really looking at all the effects. So looking at how far you've come and how much you're able to relax and all the stress that you're able to let go of and how much fun you're able to have now that you've worked so hard and you've made all of these positive changes in the beginning of the year. You're going to start to reap the benefits of it. And then eventually, the end of the year, I see you guys really just coming full circle, and you're going to be so proud of yourselves, as you should be. This is ascension all day, every day. Okay, let's just check. I have some charms I'm going to cast for you guys. Just so we can get a few more details for each month. Pile number 1, please. Okay. So we have ice cream sandwich. It's tipped upside down. Yeah, this is, for me, this symbolizes like really getting in and looking at the layers behind something, looking at the actual makeup of something. Like, why does something taste good? If it was Netflix, why does that feel so good? Is there something actually sustainable? Because we can't live, unfortunately, off of ice cream sandwiches. Okay, let's see. We have a K here. Ooh, yeah. March, you're really going to be anchoring down on, you're going to start to feel grounded with these new thoughts and belief systems, that logic. Oh, cool, look. Yep, you have a sewing needle that fell right here. Kind of symbolizes the sword. Cleansing is symbolized by the frog. So you're going to go through every 3 months. I see you guys kind of going through this cleansing period where you're going to kind of reevaluate. A lot changes in 3 months, guys. I'm actually considering doing 3-month prediction readings, because you think back on your life from 3 months ago, I am willing to bet at least 90% of you, your life looked pretty different. You were you were either living somewhere different, you were experiencing something different, like something vastly different has changed. Willing to bet. Comment down below and let me know, because the whole 3-month thing is something that I've been using for the past 4, a long time, the last few years, to kind of keep track of my own life. And I see you guys starting to kind of implement something like that as well. Also, this goes to show that this isn't going to be let's take on the world on day one kind of energy. This is just like, no, we're gonna start pacing ourselves, right? We're gonna do this well, which means we need to take it in chunks. C's represent abundance. So February and July, I'm seeing, yeah, you're just gonna be continuing. That's gonna be some abundant months for you guys. There might be a fancy event for some of you in this month. Traveling. Ooh. We have, this is one of my favorite charms. It says really claiming your power. Having a really polished mindset. This is kind of the wisdom of being able to have fun and still being able to be carefree, but still be responsible, right? Oh, I love this. This is a new charm that I got. This represents like spirituality. Also fun, like, well, I don't know. I got it because I was like, that's so cute and it's so fun. Like I have to add it to my charm bag. So it's interesting because we have a circle here, which symbolizes completion. There could be a new commitment that you start in October that you're excited about. Like you're releasing the crappy ones that were exhausting and you're starting a new commitment with something. This can also symbolize spirituality. Ooh. Okay, so April, we have the donut in reverse. So this is, which makes sense that we have this coming up in reverse, because this is like you saying no. No more to the crap. No more to the low quality. I'm ready to start looking forward into things with high quality and with sustenance. Let's see, what is this? Oh, it's a button. Don't let your past hold you back, and you have a pair of scissors. Oh, that's so cool. You guys are going to be overcoming your past. Ooh, that's so exciting. Okay. It's like, oh, that's so cool. That is so cool. Especially anything with emotional ties. Oh yeah. You guys are going to be set free from so much crap. You're going to feel so liberated and good. So come November, you guys are going to be looking really good. So it's kind of like stops to smell the roses. Some of you, it's just kind of like reaping the rewards. Didn't we mention that, where it's gonna, something with diet, like it's really gonna be cemented for you how far you have come. Some of you are gonna celebrate by going shopping because you're gonna need a new wardrobe because you've accomplished certain physical goals. Others of you need to upgrade your wardrobe to match your emotional and psychological and spiritual upgrades. So this is like you starting to match the outside with what you have what's the word, accumulated, yes, achieved inside. I'm also seeing a little bit of romance in November. That's going to be fun. Potentially that could have something. Some of you could meet someone during this very adventurous traveling time, committing somewhere around October, and then really just like enjoying it and loving it in November. At the very least, a lot of you are going to be meeting a love interest because we have a little cup here too. Yeah, this is new emotional beginnings. I've got quite a few. This is gonna be, November is gonna be a really good month, a really fun month for you guys. December, I'm just seeing peace. Only charm we have is the letter P. I personally don't usually vibe with the letters. Every once in a while though, I do get hits, and I kind of just include them more so for you guys to be able to look, because charms are very symbolic. So make sure you look at them and see if you get any intuitive hits off of them, because you could look at this and it could mean something. It could make you think of something very personal to you, which is kind of why I like using charms. But yeah, for me, the P just symbolizes peace, which totally, that's absolutely in alignment with the devil in reverse. Now, this one, June, where we have a button and a cap. Yeah, this is you just being kind of closed off. Like just keeping things to yourself, right? Because you're just trying to live your life. You're just trying to implement these things. It's kind of like what I had to do with my family, where I was like, this is just me. Okay, I'm gonna just not worry about it, not make it emotional, and I'm just gonna be me. And again, this kind of came up a little bit here too, where it's like you don't need to broadcast, because you know how sometimes there are those really I'm sorry, but they just are. There's like the really annoying vegans where you meet them and like 5 seconds into meeting them, you know that they're vegan, and that's like all that they can talk about, right? Like, I'm sorry. Those people are rough, which sometimes is a page kind of energy, especially with new beginnings. But so I see this new beginning with you. You're already going to have a pretty mature mindset that you've cultivated, and so it's kind of like you don't need to broadcast to the world. In June, you're gonna be like, look, I cut away my past, I cut away the crap that doesn't serve me, and I'm cool just being me. I don't need the world to see me in order to feel validated, because I've done all this work, and now I feel strong enough within that I can keep walking forward and not worry about it. Oh, this is so much strong, powerful energy. It makes sense that you guys did get the quartz crystal. For me, the quartz crystal symbolizes kind of limitless potential. So for those of you who work with crystals, you might want to get a quartz crystal or start working with the ones that you have. Make sure that they're cleansed. You can do that using salt, smoke, fire, the moon, sun, moon water, soil. I'm sure I've forgotten, I've missed out something. Comment down below how you like to cleanse your crystals for those fellow crystal lovers. But getting a quartz crystal and working with them throughout the year, that can be really helpful for you. Yeah, you can program them to help you with like really anything. So say you wanted to focus on a certain aspect of self-development, like what's a form of social interaction, like public speaking. And so you could program this. Look, you can look into it online. We definitely don't have enough time to go into it now, or on the channel. If you guys want me to make a video on it, I can, just let me know. But you can program this to where it's your confidence crystal, right? Where you meditate on it and you work and it aligns with your solar plexus chakra, things like that. So that could also be a part of this culmination of a brand new you. My pile ones, you guys are setting New Year's resolutions and you're going to be that like 1% that actually sticks to your goals. And that's because you're getting to the root cause behind them and you're really allowing it to transform who you are as an individual. So pile number one, I'm proud of you guys in advance. Like, good job. This is gonna be a really cool year for you. And come like the second half of the year is when you're really, really going to start. It's not that you're not going to enjoy the first half of the year, but the second half, that's when you're really going to start truly reaping the rewards and being able to look back and reflect and be like, damn, I did that. Like, I used to only be able to do 20 sit-ups and now I can do like 100 or something. You know, you're going to actually be able to look back and be able to measure your progress. So comment down below and let me know what you guys thought of this video. If you liked it, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you would like a personal reading with me, go ahead and check out my Etsy link. I will provide it in the description for you guys. I am not seeing anything else for you guys. I will see you guys next time. Sending you all of the love and light. Blessed be. Hello, my sweet souls who selected pile number 2, our black obsidian. Again, this is really good for shielding and protecting. Yeah, feel free to work with this crystal throughout this year if you're ever going through tough times. I don't really see this as an indicator of tough times. I'm actually intuitively picking up that, ooh, you guys are going to come to the end of a rough year. Pile number 2 it makes sense in the year 2022. We've got 4 2s there. I'm seeing a balance. 2s represent harmony and relationships, and 4s represent stability. The fact that that's coming up with the black obsidian as your crystal. I don't normally get this many intuitive hits off of the crystal alone, but I think this is saying that things are finally going to stabilize for you this year. Like, did you guys have a rough 2021? Preach if you did. But, oh, this is going to be a nice year for you already, I can tell. Okay, so let's look at these cards to see what your overall theme and energy for this year is going to be. 3 of materials, which is 3 of pentacles. Ooh, an 8 of voices, which is 8 of swords in reverse. Okay, the 8 of swords is one of those cards in tarot that you just kind of don't want to see necessarily. There are worse cards, but it's one of those cards that's just kind of like, eh. You guys got it in reverse, which is beautiful. That is what we like to see. So the 3 of materials, or the 3 of pentacles, this is all about sisterhood or siblinghood, gender roles aside. Teamwork, collaboration. I'm seeing advances in your professional lives because you're getting out of your own way. So the eight of voices upright talks about being stuck in a prison of your own creation. So this is like feeling like you're trapped and you're stuck by these invisible forces. You just are coming to block after block after block, and everything just feels hard. And in some ways, if you do a reading about that and you get the 8 of voices, that's actually pretty encouraging, because this is a card that's telling you there aren't any actual real cages in your life. They are just illusions that you are creating for X, Y, or Z reasons to hold yourself back. lack of self-belief as well. And so I see that ending here this year with the Eight of Swords in reverse. And that's going to allow you... Okay, so there's going to be this like kind of fun feeding effect, because that's going to allow you to connect with other people more easily. This could also be, a lot of you are going to have the elimination of social anxiety, which is really lovely. Some of you are meeting your soul tribe, making brand new friends, a lot of new friends, and cultivating and enriching the friendships that you already have. This is a very powerful sense of community. And so you are going to, once you get out of your own way, which I see you doing this year, you are going to be able to connect more easily with other people. And in doing so, you'll have this strengthened support system, which is going to prevent you from falling back into this energy. See how we have the same lines here as we see here? It's like, it's not misery loves company, but it's like, that's the phrase that's coming through for some reason. I feel like you will be able to bond and meet other people who have gone through the same struggles that you have, particularly within the past year or two. Some of you had it really rough, which makes sense with your black obsidian. So you're going to learn how to get out of your own way and how to create healthy, meaningful, enriching relationships. A lot of these friends I see you making at work. I'm also seeing advancement in your career and long-term planning, and you're gonna have this really dope support system where, what's that phrase where it's like women supporting women? Again, genders aside, but women have kind of been cultivated by the patriarchy, right? Like groomed and conditioned by the patriarchy to kind of compete against each other in a man's world, quote unquote. And so this is a really powerful energy where you're rising above that conditioning, and instead of experiencing jealousy when you see other people succeed, you're going to be really proud of them and really inspired by them. And that's a really enlightened energy. So, all right. So just based off of those cards, I really like this pile. Okay, let's go ahead and do our tester card for January. All right, Spirit, how has pile 2's January been? Ooh, it wants to come out. I only take our jumpers though. Okay, the moon in reverse. So I'm seeing some revelations. It's like confirmation of intuition about various imbalances in your life, because we have the Six of Pentacles, and this is all about generosity and equal give and take. And then the moon represents intuition. And you got this in reverse. And so there's kind of been this clouded thinking that has eliminated, this lack of give and take that you've been experiencing. It could be in any relationship, but for most of you, this is going to be at work, because that's what the pentacles represent in a lot of readings. A lot of you are in an unbalanced situation in some form or fashion at work, and that has been clouding your intuition. Some of you feel kind of empty and drained, and you're beginning to see the truth. It's like enlightenment, that there is a true imbalance and that it is unjust. Because the scales are just really pulling my attention here. Yeah, there's a weird power imbalance that you guys have been struggling with at work, or this could also indicate perhaps within your own intimate relationships or family relationships, where potentially, say, for example, one partner makes far more money than the other partner, and it's kind of this just toxic or just out of balance, kind of it's unhealthy territory, power dynamic that's being created by it, as opposed to equality and this equal give and take. And I'm seeing this because it's coming up with a major arcana card, which represents major life themes. I'm seeing this as being something that your soul is going through, because you need to learn to identify the truth in situations based off of your intuition. So it's kind of this unhealthy cycle that you've been stuck in, where you've just been feeling kind of drained and empty, and you're starting to identify that and see that because your emotions are overwhelming you. We have so many like fish and water up above her, and the moon is a very feminine card. So also I'm getting the fact that the moon, such a feminine card, is coming up in reverse. And femininity is also deeply associated with intuition and with receiving, actually. And then we have the giving and receiving card in reverse. You guys have not been receiving what you are due, what you are worth. There's not been an equal give and take in some form or fashion. And so I see this truth of this injustice, of this imbalance, which can be temporary. At most, as long as you accept the inner truth that you already know. I can't tell you anything that you don't already know. Tarot is almost always a confirmation of truths that you are subconsciously aware of, and it's just extraordinarily validating for the universe to come through and to directly connect with you and to just be like, yeah, you're right, this is what's going on, and to offer you a higher perspective. So I don't see this imbalance lasting longer than maybe 6 months max, as long as you accept your inner truths and accept how this is making you feel, and rediscovering versus allowing your emotions to overwhelm you, rediscovering how to connect with your energetic body, your emotional body, how those intertwine to connect to your spiritual sense of self, and how you connect with your higher power, be that God, goddess, universe, and whatever you believe in. It doesn't matter. It's your higher power. It could even just be your higher self. Ooh, okay, let's take a look at February. What's coming up for you guys? And I do shuffle. Ooh, that was a crappy shuffle. I do shuffle and cleanse all of these decks before each reading, just so you know. But sometimes I like to give it an extra shuffle on camera. Ooh, ooh. Oh my gosh, you guys, look at this. Yes. All right. Another major arcana card. This is beautiful. And another swords card in reverse. So this is interesting. Your mental health and negative thought patterns, those habits are going to be improving. You're going to be moving out of that energy, because we have the 8 of Swords in reverse over here, and then come February, you're moving into the 9 of Swords, also in reverse, which is just saying this is advancement. 9 of Swords upright talks about anxiety. He has all of these swords hanging over his head, and it's so bad that he can't sleep at night, and he can't see all of the beautiful colors in his life, as well as his own strength. It's kind of pulling my attention here that we have very similar colors, this yellow and the rose. For some reason, that's really, I feel like it's deeply intertwined with this strength and infinite peace that comes from this inner strength. So when we're so caught up in our worries and in our concerns and in our minds playing out worst case scenarios, which is pretty typical to happen, especially when we've gone through a rough time, because when we're tired of going through a rough time, we want to feel like we can be prepared for whatever hits us next, so that we're not knocked off center again, right? So that we feel like we're more in control of the situation. And this is you just kind of being like, look, I'm not in control of the situation, but I am in control of myself and my own inner demons, my own things that I struggle with. You're really going to have really connecting with your strength and overpowering any negative thoughts. And it's really going to allow you to bring in some serious abundance into your life this February, this coming month. And with this coming month being so short, this is going to be, this is interesting because it's going to be relatively long lasting, because it is a major arcana card, which are major life themes and very intense, impactful, important energies. The major arcana, they carry that more so than any other cards. So you're going to be really just claiming your inner strength. And because February is a shorter month, it's interesting because I see you jumping into that, just kind of saying, okay, no more BS. I am tired. I just want peace, and I want it to be long lasting, and I'm ready to achieve abundance and to see what I am actually capable of. Yeah, I mean, this is also further confirmation of our Eight of Swords in reverse. Ooh. And then Three of Pentacles. You know what? This past month has been teaching you this truth, so that once you understand and you're able to identify these dynamics, then you'll be able to identify how to find these kind of collaborative, equal, give and take, respectful relationships where you guys are able to respect and appreciate each other's talents, contribute it. And this is about creating something bigger and better than any of you could create independently. So that's why you're going through this massive shift in January. That's why this struggle has been there, because Spirit needed you, the universe needed you to just reach that point of like, you know what, I'm fed up. I'm tired of this. Now that I've seen this truth of this situation, like, for some reason, facing the worst sometimes can push us into that space where we're no longer anxiety ridden, because we're already dealing with crap. So our brains are just kind of like almost burnt out on it, where we're like, you know what? F it. It's fine. I'm strong enough to handle this because I don't have any other choice. Ooh, this is so good. Okay. I want to see what's going down for March. You guys are going to be really proud of yourselves and really feeling empowered. The start of the year is going to be really beautiful for you guys. And a lot of this power comes from seeing the truth of your situation. March, please, for my pile twos. Look at that. Liberation. Ooh. All right, and then Secrets in reverse. Wow, you guys are absolutely just seeing the truth of the situation. And the stronger you get, the more that you're able to readily accept kind of what you're seeing. So let's see. Let's go ahead and do... So I just intuitively pick out my decks. I have a whole bunch out and ready. I have way too many tarot and oracle decks. Just kidding. There's no such thing as too many. But I have quite a few. So I'll just intuitively pick out a select group to just have out. And then from there, I'll just intuitively pick whichever decks I feel called to use. And it's so funny. This one, it's called Dark Mirror Tarot. It addresses kind of the darker energies that we have to face in life. And I don't really use this deck a lot, although the art is amazing. And it is a very beautiful guide in how to address and handle the shittier stuff in life, honestly. But I really I didn't want to use it. I don't like using this deck for collective readings for some reason, but it wouldn't let me put it down. It was just like, nope. And I was like, no, come on. And it wouldn't let me put it down. So it's funny. Of course. See, trust your intuition, man. It's your intuition, your gut is never wrong. And if you overthink it, then that's where you start to kind of block your intuition and your feminine energy, and you start to go out of balance with things. And I see you guys, you're going to stop doing that, because in trusting your intuition, you will have found the truth, and you're going to continue to find the truth through at least through these first 3 months. But let's see how your April is going to go. For pile 2, please. Interesting. Addicted. More swords. I'm going to get a clarifier on this guy. Clarifier, please, for April. Page of Swords. For some reason with this, I'm getting there's addiction to not wanting to see the truth anymore. And this April, you guys are going to be addressing that. I'm going to actually pull one more card, please, here for April. Let's see. Successful ventures in business and love. Oh, surrounded by 11 can indicate a breach of trust. Okay, and this card has the number 11. Okay, so this April, it looks like some of you are chained to something or someone, and it's almost like, this sounds intense, but it's almost like a masochist energy, like your comfort zone is being hurt by them, but you love them so much that you just stay, you're chained to them, you allow them to keep puncturing these swords. But now with this newfound ability of trust, yeah, secrets revealed, and successful business ventures. So don't click off. It's okay. It's gonna be okay. There's gonna be some secrets revealed, and you may feel like there's a breach of trust that you're able to identify in April. And if you would rather, I mean, ignorance is bliss, but it's also ignorance, and that's a reality based off of illusions, and you guys are not about that life anymore, which is also part of why we have the Page of Swords coming up. I notice how she's looking towards her past, but she's reaching towards her future with this sword, the sword of truth, and the beginning of new thoughts. So the beginning of these new thoughts this April, coupled with this business success, financial success in some form or fashion, is going to increase your sense of stability enough to where you feel strong enough and rooted and grounded enough and safe enough to, even though you don't really want to, because you feel kind of stuck with whatever this or whoever this is, you're going to be cutting through it. You're going to be deciding, okay, because pages represent new beginnings. For a select few of you, this is going to be finding out about a betrayal from a younger person, a person that's younger than you, and it's just immature. So this could also even be an addiction to wanting, I'm hearing like failed approvals. Okay, this could also talk about finally seeing the truth and Oh, I just noticed we have an anchor too, and we were talking about how you're going to feel rooted down and grounded enough and strong and stable enough to be able to cut through the bullshit and get to the truth of the situation and move forward. But some of you are addicted to trying to get other people's approval, especially this person that has, or you're going to find out about their betrayal. And it doesn't have to be something super intense, right? Betrayals can be small, they can be minor. But that, coupled with all of this, it's just kind of this perfect catalyst, this perfect environment that's created that acts as a catalyst, kind of like an enzyme, that is going to push you into this new way of thinking. Even though you may not want to, but you're going to notice, like, okay, this isn't healthy and it's not serving me. Okay, so that's April. Let's see May. Okay. May, pile 2. 2 of crystals, balance and adaptability. And we have the kangaroo. For whatever reason, this is giving me a very nurturing energy, but also remember how we were talking about the stability that you were able to achieve because of the successful business ventures over here. Crystals, which is pentacles, again, a lot of this is going to be like mind over matter kind of thing. Like you're going to be able to identify and stop investing your thoughts into crap that doesn't serve you, and into holding yourself back, and into stories that allow others to hold you back because you crave their approval, over your own sense of self-esteem is the message coming through. I'm so sorry, don't shoot the messenger. The messages that I channel, like, I can't say anything else until I say what the universe wants me to channel. So take that or leave that as it resonates. These are collective readings, so it is going to be for a large group of people. So practice using this intuition. But this is talking about, okay, so balance and adaptability. This is giving me a very nurturing energy. And you're going to be practicing and mastering bringing your life into balance and adapting into a more fun environment. And you're going to feel, your life is going to feel lighter. This could also talk about, for some of you, this is coming through fairly strong, there is an addiction to impulse buying, impulse purchases, and you're going to be looking at, you're going to be identifying, okay, why isn't this serving me? Why am I doing this? And you're going to be able to bring it into balance so you no longer handle your emotions with compulsive purchases. Okay, a lot of liberation here, a lot of truth, a lot of strength, and a lot of financial success. New ways of thinking, bringing things into balance. All right. Woo, that was fast. Temptation. Interesting. So in June, there's going to be a test. And this test is going to come along to kind of see, this is the universe not trying to trick you, but okay, there's going to be a new love offer for most of you in June. And for some reason, that coincides with some form of temptation where there's going to be, say, a lot of red flags And this is the universe's way of being like, did you learn all these lessons that you've spent the first half of the year accomplishing? Are you going to continue moving forward? Or are you going to allow illusions to be draped over you again? It's not necessarily saying, though, this is interesting. I'm going to grab another card because for some of you, the love interest is going to be the trickster, in that it's going to be the universe testing you by sending you someone that seems really good, but intuitively you cannot deny the red flags. And so it's just kind of this test where it's like, okay, are you going to be able to maintain this? Are you going to be able to put these skills that we've been pushing you through, these lessons, in order to master actually learning all of this? Are you going to be able to handle this now, so that if you can handle this, you'll be able to move into bigger and better things? This could also talk about a business opportunity that feels too good to be true or shady, and you're aware of that, but you feel tempted by it. It's something, or falling back into old habits. It's something that will it will change your life for the worse, in that it will end up creating a foundation that is now rocky. And you can either choose, if you do choose to go to feed into this temptation, into something that feels so good, but you know it's bad for you. You know it's bad for you. And if you come across something that does feel really good, but you don't know if it's bad for you, there's also that need to get back in tune with yourself and with your intuition, with spirit, the universe, to really listen to your spirit guides, your angels, loved ones who have passed on, that are going to want to help to guide you through this. I mean, you guys will be safe. It's not, I know that this all sounds very intense, but this is really your chance to complete your transformation. But if you fall into that temptation, you're going to begin, I see you guys beginning to build a rocky foundation that is, it's just going to crumble again later. Because this lightning bolt here is reminding me of the tower. So this is a potential for building what will turn into a tower moment later on, and you kind of secretly know that, but if it feels good enough, you may choose to ignore it. So this coming up now, you being able to see this now, is the universe's way of giving you a heads up so that you can navigate that, hopefully a little bit more successfully. Any other messages? Ooh, okay. So one way to help guide you through this, because we have the 7 of Cups in reverse. Now, the 7 of Cups upright traditionally can talk about a couple different things. It talks about having a lot of different options. If you look at all of these different cups, they all have something different in them. But this person, it's all kind of cloudy and muddy, so this person doesn't really know which cup holds what. So this one has a snake in it, and this one has a victory wreath in it, right? This one has a monster, this one has treasure in it. And so this is honestly just a perfect exam question. It's coming through, kind of, where you will have mastered earlier on through these lessons, as long as you claim them, right? Because tarot's just a heads up. You don't ever have to claim anything. Like, you're in control of your own destiny. This is just your projection based off of your current energetic blueprint. But anyways, so cloudy thinking. So he can't, it's kind of murky. His thoughts are kind of murky. He can't tell what is in each cup. This also talks about a reminder that you do have an abundance of options. This is also a very daydreamy card. So you got it in reverse. And so this is serving as a couple different things, where it is a message that one way that you can kind of feel out whether or not this is a temptation versus something that is actual positive growth and that will lead to positive change and continued evolution into a higher, better form of yourself, is by looking at the abundance that you have in your life. And when this comes up, it will present itself in such a way where it will manipulate your forms of thinking into giving you the illusion that you don't have any other option. But there's always a choice. And in reality, you have a lot of other options. So when this comes up, if you're like, oh, well, I'm getting bad vibes from it, but it looks like it would be fun, or it would feel so good to just do it, to say screw it and dive in because I don't really have any other choice. That's a key here. Okay, that's a flag. So that's probably what that is. This also can indicate, though, really just the same message that's been repeating itself, is that this daydreaminess, these illusions are coming crashing down. So as long as you follow your inner guidance and your inner instincts, and you've been doing this work and really just accepting instead of resisting all of this energy at the beginning of the year, you're going to have the tools to cut through the bullshit easy. You're going to be able to go through this clear-minded and not let any dreaminess kind of unground you or take you away from reality, so to speak. Ooh, that's deep, guys. Okay. Let's do July. Overall, though, I just want to emphasize, because there are some fairly intense messages coming through. Also, with all of this, with all of these illusions being shattered, working with Black Obsidian will be good for you. So if you feel called to, if you like working with crystals, I highly recommend vibing with that crystal throughout this year. But again, so the messages sound intense, but honestly, as long as you go into it accepting it and claiming the process for what it is, maintaining your inner strength, you're going to feel very powerful through all of this. And let's not forget, you're going to feel that Eight of Swords reversed, right? You're not going to feel trapped by illusion anymore, especially illusion that you are creating for yourself. And you're going to be meeting new people who are healthier for you and collaborating with them. Also a lot of business success too. So let's not forget that, okay? All right, let's look at July. That was fast. All right. Five of Swords in reverse. I'm just gonna put that there. And the Star. Oh, cool. Okay. All right. So this July, Five of Swords in reverse is going to be the end of. You're gonna have a nice break from conflict. Notice how these guys feel kind of attacked. This is other people just wanting to win at all costs, no matter what. This is a lot of friction, a lot of fighting. But it came up in reverse. I love that you have so many negative swords cards. All of the sword cards that are not really favorable have come up in reverse. You guys are going to be in a really good place mentally this year. Oh, that's so nice. Cool. Which is further emphasized by the Star, which is funny because it also talks about balance and healing and ultimately having hope and potential wishes coming true as well in a big way. But this is also, I'm seeing a restored faith in the fact that you can have the end of conflict. So most of you, honestly, my pile twos, I see you seeing through the bullshit that you're going to be tested with in June, and then you're going to be feeling really hopeful and proud of yourself and happy that you put an end to all of this stupid friction that is within your control. This is a very, very powerfully positive card. Your emotions are going to come very strongly into this space of inner balance, and again, more self-empowerment. This kind of looks like the sacral plexus chakra. So I'm not going to go too deep into it because we don't really have the time. But for those of you who do energy work, or if you feel called to, look into that. This is also, I'm seeing the beginning, like the true beginnings of you feeling solid and cemented within these new powerful relationships that actually contribute to your life. You're going to be feeling really good about it. There we go. Okay. This is also you accepting the natural flow of life instead of trying to force things into the picture of how you want things to be. You're just going to be able to receive and accept things as they are and feel really good about it, which is super cool. All right, pile 2 is August. Look at this. Okay, this is so cool, you guys. So you're going to be in an inner state of abundance still into August. Remember the abundance we were talking about that you'll be cultivating, and that inner peace you'll be cultivating next month? You'll be feeling that in August as well. But the Thunderbolt in reverse. You guys have all of the most like conflicty, that's not even a word, but like unfortunate cards in reverse, with the exception of this one. But that one's just coming up to show you, to give you the heads up that is just going to be a test on the way. Hang on, let me grab a quick sip of my tea. Oh, so good. Okay, so in this deck, this is the Tower. Remember how I was talking about that? And it's the Tower reversed. Okay, this makes me so like proud and happy and excited because look, remember, that's crazy, you guys. Oh my gosh, cool. I'm in tune. I'm loving it. We were talking about this thunderbolt representing that tower that would crumble. And so the fact that we have this coming up in August is just showing you're going to then be able to look back and you're going to be able to see, holy crap, look at this massive bullet that I dodged. And you're going to be able to maintain inner peace, an inner sense of like, okay, I cultivated this very strong sense of self and sense of self-belief and inner peace, and I've taught myself that I'm able to maintain it even throughout temptation. So it came up in reverse. Now, there's a small percentage of you where this is just saying, for those of you who, because we all have free will, for those of you who will fall into this temptation because you haven't yet mastered or learned or accepted this lesson and what it's been trying to teach you, there's going to be the Tower moment, which is Tower moments in tarot talk about massive upheaval, massive life changes, and it's almost always deeply unpleasant. The thing is though, Tower moments, they'll never break down anything that's naturally good and strong and that serves you. Tower moments are fortunate for us in that they only take apart something that cannot withstand a storm, because it's not strong enough and it's not true enough. It's not meant for you. And so in a lot of ways, even though it can be really rough and feel unfortunate in the beginning, which is why it's going to be so dope for you to be able to see in August. You're going to be able to find out what would have happened if you would have fallen into this trap. But for those of you who do kind of fall into that temptation, again, you're going to be able to actually achieve enlightenment and be able to see through this kind of, again, this word is intense, but catastrophe. It'll feel like an emotional catastrophe. You'll be learning the truth, and this will be your ultimate breaking point where even though you'll want to resist it and you'll do everything in your power to resist it, this is just the laws of nature at work, and you cannot stop a collapsing building. We're just humans. It'll just fall on top of us and take it down with us if you try and stay stuck in that building. So this is just like, don't be stubborn. If you end up being in this situation, don't be stubborn, because sometimes when cards come up in reverse, they can indicate a blockage. So it could be for a very small percentage of you, I'm feeling. Most of you, this isn't going to happen, but for a very small percentage of you, again, free will, this is going to be you realizing the flaws in the foundation that you built, and it's going to kind of be this culmination of the whole year that kind of comes into this massive moment that's life-changing. And it's beautiful because it is Spirit's way of clearing out all at once this big huge chunk of crap in your life that is not good for you, and it's very powerful. It's a very powerful energy. So let's just keep that in mind. Let's see what's going down for, let's see what happens next in September. It's going to be a very relaxing and peaceful energy for those of you who the Tower moment like doesn't happen for you, and you're, because you passed the test and you maintained that sense of self-belief. And actually, there's going to be a bit of a realization, a sudden realization, this kind of aha moment when you see this truth, whether it be you identifying the fact of, holy shit, like that would have been so bad, or for those of you who need to learn that spiritual lesson and are falling from the tower, it's going to be this sudden realization of what you want to create and being able to finally look forward into birthing something new and creating a new world for yourself, and one that you really want and that you super vibe with and that just feels yummy, feels good, and you're just gonna be sick of it, sick of the crap, and you're just gonna say, okay, I'm ready for it, it's time, I'm gonna create this and bring it into existence. It's gonna be a very motivating time for you as well. You guys are gonna feel very, very motivated in August. Let's see, September, Starseed in reverse. What lights you up? Yeah, this is exactly what we were just saying. It's you identifying what really vibes with you, like what you really like. So I can't help but notice she's staring at this planet, this massive planet, and she has this bird's eye view. And she is a child, so this is a very innocent, pure perspective that you'll be finding, because you'll be able to have this bird's eye view of things, but you're going to be able to, you're going to start focusing on how to create an entire world for yourself. This is completely separate from, it's going to help you maintain a sense of control, which is going to feel really nice after having to just kind of, you're going to rock it, and you're going to feel grounded, but it's still going with the flow. This is going to be you being like, okay, it's time to create an inner world that I really love and that I really want to share with other people. The Three of Pentacles is all about collaboration and bringing something really beautiful to the table. So this is you taking a hard look within yourself and seeing what you need to bring to the table in order to feel like your true self. Whew, that's deep, you guys. Okay, let's see here. It's a very creative energy, very dreamy, and you're really going to have to, you're finally going to be feeling powerful enough, and you're going to have enough self-belief after everything to be like, you know what, I am in control of what I choose to create for myself, the existence and the reality that I choose to create for myself, and what kind of reality I want to align myself with. Like, what kind of energetic frequency, what does that feel like of my dream world? And how can I raise my vibration? How can I raise my energetic blueprint and footprint, I should say, to match that of your desires so that you can bring it in and manifest it into your life more quickly. Let's see. October, very empowering, very empowering. And it's going to feel fun, too. Ooh, that one wanted to come out, so we'll take it, but I want another one. October. Okay. Let's see. Six of Swords reversed. Let's see. Six of Wands reversed. 10 of Swords reversed. Okay, you guys are going to be avoiding a massive heartbreak. This is interesting. This is like a lucky year for you guys. 10 of Swords in reverse, man. Oh my gosh, you guys have had 8, 9, and 10. This is the final, I keep using this word, culmination? The final culmination moment. I don't know why that word keeps coming through, but it does. So we're going to roll with it. Of you mastering your mind and overcoming painful endings. Because you will have ended everything that no longer serves you, especially within your own inner world and within your own inner monologue. You will have overcome any addiction to anything, addiction to like buying into illusion, and you're going to be able to really feel like, holy crap, I'm finally being able to feel the effects of what a life feels like when I stop this pattern. Holy crap, I get a break from heartbreak. I get a break from painful endings, which is really cool. Six of Swords reverse talks about, for some reason, so I can talk about travel, and I'm just seeing a canceled trip here. So some of you, there's going to be a trip planned that is going to get canceled for some reason. But it also could feed into a kind of private victory where maybe you're really happy about the trip being canceled. The two don't have to coincide. They can. But the Six of Wands reversed can talk about failure, but I'm not getting failure vibes from this because upright, it's a victory card. Again, if a card's in reversal, it can indicate a blockage or something that's going on deeply internally. And so another meaning of the Six of Wands, which is coming through the strongest, you guys have so much like red root chakra grounding energy that's really just been popping through. There's a lot about grounding energy throughout this. Again, very, very powerful, which is probably why it's going to make it easier for you to kind of, again, go with the flow and be able to take truths. But you are going to be succeeding at something. But you're not going to be super, like, shout from the rooftops about it. You're going to want to keep it private. Keep it to yourself. Let's do November. For some reason, I want to use this deck again. November, please. 4, 2 4s. Interesting. And you had 2 6s here. So there's going to be a slight regression. In what way, though? That doesn't make sense. Let's get a clarifier. Don't let your past hold you back. Okay, so someone from your past could be making a return in November. This feels like another mini test where you get to choose. It's a choice. That's what it is. So you get to choose between this really abundant, wonderful, stable, passionate energy that's very celebratory. This can also talk about weddings. So someone, you might be getting married, or someone in your immediate family or your friends, someone in your life is going to be getting married. If that's the case, be careful not to let jealousy come in or overwhelm you, yeah, there's a need to stay focused on like the happiness, because the Four of Cups talks about disappointment and a sense of like apathy and kind of emptiness, a little bit of self-pity sometimes as well. But so there's going to be this choice between what you want to focus on and what you want to create for yourself. And again, there's something about a test here where it's kind of like a choose your own adventure type of deal, where it's like, do you want abundance? And look, more red. Ooh, this also indicates more time that you'll be spending with family, whether that be blood or friends. Family is not limited to just blood, which actually makes sense. Some of you may be starting a family. That's only a very, very small percentage of you, though, because I'm not getting a lot of other like fertility cards or anything. That's like for one, maybe, yeah, 1% of you might be starting a family. You guys are gonna have to come back and comment throughout the year. We'll see how this turns out. I'm curious, because it's gonna be, each situation is gonna be different for each person. I have a friend that I've always done, he always likes to do year ahead tarot readings. That's kind of the only type of tarot reading that he likes, and it's always been kind of fun to I'll pull all the cards and we'll go through it, and he'll take a picture of it, and then it's fun throughout the year to go back through, and it's kind of rewarding for me as a reader to see things come into fruition, and to be able to figure out what precisely the energy was talking about. So that's kind of fun. I would love to do that with you guys too. But all right, how are we gonna finish off the year for 2022? You know what? This deck does not want to be used. Hang on. So that was, it's kind of funny because that was a cat tarot deck. But I feel really called to use the dog tarot deck, which is, that's kind of funny. All right. December, please, for pile 2. Answer the call, wild dog. In reverse. Oh my gosh, and look. Find your pack. Belonging. That is what we were talking about at the very beginning. And we even have 3 dogs. Look at that. 3 people, 3 dogs. Oh, that's so cool. That's very powerful, you guys. It's very powerful. For some reason that wants to stay out, so we'll just keep it out. But so the wild dog. The wild dog, this makes me think of a stray dog that's always kind of on high alert because he has to go at it alone. And he's always got his ears like out and ready and listening for the alarm bells for any potential predators, but also he's secretly dreaming of finding his home. And you will have found that home within yourself and this sense of belonging, that find your pack. Everything's just going to kind of, you're going to be able to, I see you reflecting in December, like looking back on the year and being like, holy crap, look at what this year brought me. I'm no longer having to like lead my life alone. I have my people, I have my family, I have my tribe, which also complements this energy well with the 4 of Wands. So this is a need to take a look at really valuing what you have and how far you've come. And this is also going to be a very celebratory month. The end of your year, these last 3 months especially, are going to be, not the last 4 months because this is going to be fun. They're going to be really just, gorgeous. Like and December is probably going to be the best. I'm getting the best vibes off of this one. You're not going to feel like a lone wolf anymore. You're gonna feel really happy and connected with other people, that on connections that are based off of truth. And that's one of the biggest lessons that I see you guys being presented with, and a lot of you learning and mastering this year. And your reward for that is finding your pack. Oh, that's so beautiful. Okay, so real talk, first half of the year, there will be a lot of success, a lot of sense of self-empowerment, a lot of grounding. But that's gonna be your quote unquote rougher times of the year, where it's just kind of like growing pains, kind of, right? Because it's never fun to have illusions shattered, but also it's kind of a relief when secrets are revealed, where you're like, oh, okay, I now know my truth, and it's going to confirm that your intuition was right all along. Oh, this is so cool, you guys. The anchor is also making me think of like a sailor coming home. So you're gonna be finding and creating your home and like your dream world and your dream creations. You're gonna be feeling hopeful again and really grateful of all of the inner progress that you've made. Oh, this is such a cool reading. Yes, pile twos, hell yeah. All right, I am going to pull some charms for you guys. Let's see. Let's do some charm casting for pile 2 2022. Oh, you guys have a lot of charms that want to come out. Yeah, you're going to be feeling just like, I don't usually vibe with the letters on these charms. I include them mostly for my clients or my viewers, because charms are very symbolic. So I always recommend that you take a look at them, and if it sparks like a particular thought, then that is a charm that carries a specific message directly to you personally. But so I don't normally vibe with the letters, but the K for me always means like, okay, like I'm doing okay, like I'm feeling really good. Okay, so let's see. Let's start with January. We have, oh, interesting. We have a ship, camera. I'm not gonna lift all of them up. An X, Z, and then this for me talks about spirituality and reevaluating what you are committed to and your direction in life. Photography could be a focus for you in January, but also being really reflective and looking back on memories. Some of you might have taken a trip this year, but also the ship is like identifying that you have been out at sea. And then in April, you'll be coming home. Let's see. February, we have, run and an @ sign. This one talks about transformation that really is the revealing of truths. So you're going to start to get intuitive hits about what you're going to find out about in March, but you're going to get that in April. But it's not going to hit too hard. You're just going to be grateful for the truth. Let's see. This is interesting. You have an S that got stuck on this umbrella. Ooh, interesting. I'm not getting any intuitive hits off of that, so you take what you need from that. Run. Something that can help manage your anxiety will be physical exercise, but also this is you running away from what you've identified that no longer serves you. Oh my gosh, you have another anchor here. And it even looks the same. What? Look at that. Look at that. Hang on. That's so cool. I love it. I love it when those confirmations happen. Oh, that's so cool. Okay. What's this little guy hiding? Love. Aww. Yeah, a lot of you, this addiction is to someone that you love that's not good for you, or to something that you love that's not good for you. But so the anchor, yeah. Come March, some of you are going, that's when you're really going to start to feel grounded. Some of you are going to be accepting this kind of grounded energy or preparing for it in March. Let's see, I see awe. Someone's going to surprise you with something really sweet in March. It's really cute. I'm getting around Easter time for some reason. So something that kind of touches your heart is going to feel really good. The glasses recommend studying and learning about things. It also can talk about seeing things clearly, which makes sense with secrets in reverse. This is my little teapot dude. Yeah, some kind of situation with a coworker or there's going to be a certain relationship in March that's going to get sweeter. It could be a mother figure for a lot of you, or a sister figure. If not, just an important female in your life, I'm getting. Okay, we have go. And this is a little wardrobe thing. This is starting to recognize that you don't want certain designs to be in your life anymore. This one's just a little cup. So there's going to be some kind of a celebration or a get-together that's going to bring about something very sweet, like a very pleasant surprise this March. April, arguably that's going to probably be your hardest month, but again, you're going to be extremely successful as well, especially in business and love, because this says in business and love, and then you guys have the love charm. So some of you, and I will be posting a love specific tarot reading as well for the predictions for 2022. So you'll probably want to check that one out to kind of cross match them and see what's going on for you in April. But some of you will be meeting someone in love. So this could be walking away from an ex, walking away from a relationship that no longer serves you. Yeah, I can see that for sure over here. Let's see, we have 2 buttons. This talks about romance for me. The ring talks about commitment. Butterflies are transformation. So you're going to get really close with someone. And then in May, this could also indicate travel because it is the Eiffel Tower. In May, because we have the 2 buttons and then the 2 butterflies and the ring, a lot of you will be committing with someone. This could also just be going on a trip with, like committing to like a travel buddy, right? So go and explore somewhere new, somewhere that might be a little cold. No charms on June or July. Okay. So we have the baseball. I always think of this as like a decorative piece. An S and an E. Yeah. I know it's just the one E, but I'm reading this as C, so you're going to be seeing things. Some of you will be starting up something very active, potentially joining a sports team, whether that be through a school or like a group or a club this August around that time. Let's see. Ooh, a tape measure and a button. Okay, so you're going to be able to, whatever the success is, you're going to be able to quantify it. So it's going to feel measurable for you. It's also saying that this is going to be a very measurable, like, success. Like it's gonna be pretty large. And even though you're not gonna broadcast it, because it did come up in reverse as well, even though you're not gonna broadcast it, it doesn't take away that it's gonna feel really good. There's gonna be a new creation too. Okay, so we have, this is a little, what's it called? It's a sewing, oh my gosh, thread. Thread. We have the donut that fell down in reverse and an acorn. So, okay, like 1% of you are going to get into sewing. That's like an actual specific message that's coming through. The others, you're going to be looking at the kind of web that you've created and what you have created and how they are healthy relationships with others. Something's also going to be coming to completion and fruition in November. This could be a side project. And then, yeah, the K, you're going to be feeling just everything's going to be okay. Like life is good kind of vibes in December. Ooh, pile twos. You guys had a pretty dope reading, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, some form of a commitment in some form or fashion. You're gonna feel supported. Once you break this addiction to whatever kind of unhealthy dynamic this is, I'm getting it's most likely an unhealthy relationship. This is going to be when you kind of really start to bond and connect with your tribe, where we get to see that 3 of Pentacles material as well. But this is going to be a very empowering year for you. A lot of success. Second half of the year especially is just going to be like you're so happy. Like look at these cute little guys. They're so cute. I love animals. I love dogs too. I have a rescue dog that I just, he is my world. But anyways, okay, so pile number 2s, feel free to comment down below and let me know what you think. If you liked this video and you want to see more like it, please go ahead and like and subscribe. And if you would like a personal reading with me, I have included my link for my shop on Etsy in the description. Until next time, you guys, blessed be. Hello, my sweet souls who selected pile number 3. Okay, you guys are unique. This year is going to be unique, very, very different. It's going to be one of those years where you look back on your life, you reflect later on in the future, and this year is gonna stand out. Just based off of this little guy who he chills with my other crystals. I have so many different like plants, and I love to cleanse my crystals in the soil, and also the crystals just kind of like their energy is very complementary with plants. Anyways, so he chills with my fellow crystals, but yeah, I don't know, he was pretty insistent on coming out. So this to me is saying one of 2 things, that this year is all about choosing growth or remaining stagnant, because this is just a little chunk of wood, which can symbolize growth, but for some reason the fact that it's just a chunk that has broken off from the main part of the plant just kind of intuitively gives me these hits of stagnation. So let's jump in and let's see though what we have in store for my pile number 3s. These cards are going to represent you guys got 2, your major overall theme and kind of energy that's going to carry you and follow you and support you throughout the entire year, and then we'll go through month by month. Okay, so you guys have the Tower reversed, very powerful card, and 8 of Wands in reverse. Notice how it looks like she's running backwards. She's trying to run towards the past. So both of these cards talk about resisting change. So you guys have the opportunity for this year to be extremely transformational, very, very, very positive, transformational, shocking levels of change and growth and development. But there's going to be some resistance that you're going to face. Both of these cards, when they're in reverse, they talk about resisting change. So with that in mind, let's take a look at your January. Your tester card. Let's see how your January has gone so far. All right. Thus far, Spirit, how has pile 3's January gone? All right. 2 of Pentacles. There's been a lot on your plate. I'm seeing this as being a big balancing game. The 2 of Pentacles, yeah, it's always about trying to maintain balance amongst chaos, but you've been so busy doing that you've lacked enough energy to move forward with you've managed to maintain balance, but it feels a little bit like a circus act, and it feels kind of like never-ending tasks that they keep your emotions in turmoil. It's like you never have a moment to stop and to rest. It's just one thing after the other. And this is depleting your energy. I'm seeing that there's at least one to 2 passion projects, like things that have piqued your curiosity and that you feel inspired about pursuing, that you feel blocked. You feel like it's unclear how to chart that path forward towards investing in these passion projects and in these new goals that you want. You don't really have the energy to plan things out stepping forward, because you've been so busy like surviving basically day to day, accomplishing task after task after task, and so it's felt kind of a little topsy-turvy for you. Okay, so let's see what we can expect for your February, and if this is something that you've experienced so far in January. Again, that's just an additional confirmation that this pile is for you. If it's not, feel free to keep watching. There's likely messages later on in the reading. Ooh. Okay, let's see. February, we have calamities, and then you're still not gonna have the answers. There's something, especially within your family life, that you really want the answers to, that you're still not going to get this next month, February, and then calamity. Okay, so let's talk about it. Let's break it down. So the Tower. The Tower upright, I mean, look at this. The Tower represents chaos. When you have a Tower moment, it is almost never pleasant. It talks about chaos and destruction of the things that no longer serve you. But these are things that the universe is clearing out for you in one big positive swoop. Positive in that all of a sudden now you're going to have all of this cleared energy and space. It's like a freshly plowed field that's all ready for you now, but you really, really, really liked and possibly was pretty dependent on the crop that was just burnt or cleared out. So and things kind of burning. I mean, that's something that our ancestors have been doing. I think it's called slash and burn. But it's something that our ancestors have had to do, where they would clear out crops by burning them down with a controlled fire. And then those ashes would restore nutrients and help create a sustainable soil for future crops that they wanted to build. So that message is coming through pretty specifically and pretty strongly for you guys. There's a lot about growth here and plants and connecting to nature, which is a clue that a good way to maintain a sense of peace as you go through these massive life changes that could seemingly be unpleasant initially, or at least shocking, okay? It doesn't always have to. Okay, I'm always gonna keep it real with you guys. I'm just the messenger. I just channel. I can't control the messages that come through. So I'm never going to sugarcoat things for you one way or the other, whether it's positive or negative. And I am getting that this is going to be, for the majority, like over 90% of my viewers in pile 3, this is going to feel like calamity. It's going to be unpleasant, massive change. That's what the Tower card is all about. Even though it's bittersweet, and eventually you're able to look back and be like, holy crap, I really needed that tower to collapse because it was based off of things that were not whole, right? Not high quality. They were poisoned or unnatural or forced, just things that don't serve you, right? Unstable foundations. This is the universe, just nature coming through and clearing that shit out for you, even though you were probably particularly attached to it. So also, side note that's coming through, because this card can also talk about avoiding illness. I'm not really, ironically, even though we're talking about like massive change that's going to trigger, by the way, huge transformation, as long as you don't resist it, which is what the Tower in reverse and the 8 of Wands in reverse was talking about, right? So that's going to be your thing this year, is not resisting this change, because it's happening for you, not to you. And you're going to be mastering that motto this year. But just be extra mindful and like careful with your health next month in February. Ironically, like, I'm not seeing this being health related necessarily. That's just an additional specific message that's coming through. Anyways, okay, so there's gonna be some kind of destruction, some kind of calamity or chaos that's going to force you to transform in massive ways. This is going to be life-changing. It's you not being able to keep everything together anymore. Like, this balancing act is just showing that this isn't working, right? It's too much. And so in a lot of ways, this is spirit, the universe coming through and just clearing out your plate in pretty big, substantial ways. So I see this energy really starting for you next month in February. So I always say this, the great thing about tarot is that it always gives us a heads up, right? So take what resonates, leave the rest. This is a collective reading. So it's for a lot of different people. It's not 100% guaranteed that it is going to directly affect you. Also, it is worth noting that every once in a rare while, you can get a tower moment that is a massive shift. It's also a massive, like, paradigm shift as well. It's kind of like you feel jerked into a new reality, like forced into a new reality is what I'm getting. and you're not necessarily going to be happy about it. I see you resisting it, not wanting to really accept it. There's some denial aspect there, but what was I saying before that? Sometimes it can be a positive Tower moment. Sometimes the Tower in reverse can talk about the same effects that a Tower moment has, but it doesn't feel like it hits as hard as and as rough as an upright Tower moment. So that is a possibility as well. There's gonna be something, yeah. Okay, let's keep rocking into March. Okay, how is March? I'm gonna go for my pile 3s. Woo. Okay, conclusions are within reach. For some of you, I'm getting that this is legal related. There's gonna be conclusions within reach. This could also indicate a breakup. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This looks like the 8 of Wands again. So this also could talk about the end of stagnation. Let's see. A new start is coming that you'll be resisting, and a time for healing. Okay, so, yep, the cards are just confirming everything for each other. So you're going to be resisting this new change. It's interesting that we had all these soil messages that were coming through, because within various aspects of the spiritual community, the new moon can be symbolized as like fresh soil. It's a time to manifest. It's a time to plant your intentions, start your goals. And so that's what the new moon symbolizes, whereas the full moon is the harvest. It's when you get to receive what you manifested, is one of the ideas behind it. So there could be something to do with like soil planting, gardening. Again, that could be a coping mechanism that Spirit is recommending for you to use as you go through this transformative time, because sometimes, and that actually makes a lot of sense, because working with your hands and working with the earth is going to force this connection, gently force this connection with Gaia, with Mother Earth, and that's going to help keep you grounded and connected. So conclusions are within reach. You have a full moon and eclipse. So this is just confirming, like, you're going to be feeling the effects of this ending. But remember how we were just talking about how when we have a full moon, that's our harvest. That's when we get to like pick the apples, so to speak, right? The fact that it's an eclipse is just, I'm seeing that it's gonna be an empty harvest. It's looking like there's just some disappointment, okay? There's just some disappointment. So this kind of looks like a dog in the background. So connect with your pets, for those of you who have them. For the witchy types out there, work with your familiars to do some healing spells and energy. But overall, self-care is really important. Learning to practice releasing any residual resentment or hurt or disappointment. Like, it's just going to be time for you to heal. So the fact that these stars are standing out so bright, like, it's just giving me this image of what it looks like after the storm. So the storm, the heaviest hitting part of the storm is going to be February, and then March is going to be you kind of wrapping that up, and then finally coming through the other side of the chaos and being like, oh, all right. So self-care, make time for yourself, and rely on your support systems this March. For some reason, I want to use this deck again for April. I don't know why. The other two piles, I just kind of put their crystals aside, but this one wants to stay out, so. Ooh. All right, April, things are gonna start looking up for you, especially if you're a masculine watching this. If you're not a masculine watching this, oh, pile threes. Okay. I'm seeing disappointment in love. It's interesting that this is coming up in April. I can't remember what other pile it was, or if it was both, but I can't remember. But there's another pile, at least that I know for sure, that romantic and emotional stuff was coming up in April. So I will be posting the link below for the romance year ahead prediction, so keep your eye out for that. And then I would recommend cross-watching it just to kind of like compare to see what's popping up for you in April, so that you might be able to intuit like a more specific message for you. But there's something about disloyalty or a lack of support. This is a potential breakup, potential job loss, potential. There's going to be, okay, there's either going to be a betrayal in April that I'm seeing. They are going to be able to see clearly because all of this happened, or this is a new man coming into your life, or someone with masculine energy. Gender doesn't really matter. Energy is just energy. Someone with very strong masculine energy that's going to be able to provide a support system for you. You know what? Actually, I'm getting that strongly for like 70% of you. There's going to be either a current strong masculine energy in your life is going to step up for you and be your support system and really be there for you this April, and you guys are really gonna bond. And it's just gonna feel really good to have that support to fall back on after going through this rougher time. So that's for like 70% of you. The other 30% of you, this is the revelation of an unfortunate truth, because this talks about loyalty, and then this is like joy within your heart. Yeah. Okay. So that's fortunate. It's only 30% of you. And again, I'm just a tarot reader, right? Like if you ever are listening to a tarot reading and you get news that you don't like, you can just banish the energy. You don't have to claim it necessarily, right? Like if it resonates, take it. Otherwise, just, keep your eye out. It's not ever 100% going to happen. For some reason, this is interesting. You guys are going to want to stay in your comfort zone. Oh, okay. Because I keep feeling called to use, stick with the same decks, which is interesting because with all the other piles, especially one other pile, I'm not going to say which one, but in case you want to watch that one as well. But there's a lot of different decks that wanted to be used, but with you guys, I keep feeling pulled to use just to stick with a small number of decks so far, at least. So that's just carrying the message pretty strongly that you guys are going to want to stay stuck in your comfort zone, which is kind of an affirmation, right, of resisting change. That's what all of this is talking about. So you're going to feel kind of pushed outside of your comfort zone, and you're really going to want to stay in it. So in April also, no matter what, you're going to want to find structure and stability and safety somewhere within your support system. Whether you have to create it or not, it needs to be there for you to support you this April. That's very important. And I am seeing that energy popping up for you. Even if you're part of the 30% where there's a betrayal, you need to seek this out in addition to it. Okay. So that's why that message was coming through. So no matter what, That energy will be more apparent to you, popping up for that 70%. So for the 30%, you might be a little heartbroken. And so this is just saying, like, you're going to need to seek it out, right? In order to help support you through it and choose to receive the help. Because sometimes when we're hurting, we want to isolate and we don't want to, quote unquote, drag other people down. But how does it feel to you when your people need you? Feels kind of good, right? Honestly, yeah, like there can be, it only really turns super toxic if it breaks boundaries, or it becomes like a chronic issue that, like, you keep pushing everything, like all your problems, onto another person with no motivation or desire to solve the things yourself. That's an entirely different story, right? It takes a village to survive and to thrive and to enjoy your life and to make it through. No one can do it alone. You're going to be really aware of that and feeling the effects of that in April. So feel okay asking help, receiving help. Okay. And also there's this tip that's coming through where it's a reminder for a mantra for you, is that this is temporary. This is temporary. The discomfort is temporary. Okay. Yes, the tower moment, that changed, that's permanent, that's lasting. But the discomfort and the pain, the feeling lost in the chaos, you have the power to choose how you want to look at it. You can nurse your wounds as you should and take care of yourself as you should, or you can, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, you guys are getting like the harshest messages and I don't know why, and I'm sorry. The message coming through is, so you can nurse your wounds or you can throw a pity party. That is horrible, and I hate saying that, but that's I'm sorry, that's just what's coming through. Which, you know, that's a cycle that we've all been stuck in before, right? Where it's not like necessarily woe is me, but that's kind of what it feels like, because it feels like the world's out to get you when you go through really hard times that are pretty extreme. So this is saying don't get stuck in that. You have the choice to not get lost in that, because this whole year is all about not being stuck, right? Getting outside of your comfort zone. But the very fact that you're being forced outside of your comfort zone, you get to choose what you want to do with it. Oh, this message is coming through strong, you guys. Okay, so this is coming through really strong. You're already going to be uncomfortable. Okay, you're going to be forced into this discomfort. Very, very strong discomfort. So discomfort is a natural effect of change. You get to choose what to do with it. You can either stay stuck and stagnant in that discomfort and feel that woe is me, quote unquote, energy, or since you're in a shitty place anyways and you're already uncomfortable, you may as well get something good out of it. A lot of people don't want to change because they get complacent with their lives, because they're happy, because change disrupts things and it's painful, and it's uncomfortable. There's a lot here about being uncomfortable. So this is saying you're going to be uncomfortable no matter what. So you may as well capitalize on that and use this as an opportunity to transform and to change and to rise up. And that transformation energy, that's really what spirit and the universe, it's what your soul is naturally feeling called to do. This is an opportunity for you to rise and for you to transform into what you want, because you're going to be uncomfortable anyways, so you may as well get something out of it. Oh, that was big. Go through and rewatch those last few seconds for that message, because that was very, 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 very powerful for you guys. Oh man. Okay, I'm like catching my breath. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about May. Pile 3, this is going to go down in May. the Artist in reverse. So this is again a little bit of that feeling stagnant energy. Look at the Artist upright. He's dreaming, he's creating this world into being. This can also talk about positive messages coming through. Those are going to be blocked so long as you stay stuck on the past. So there's going to be a little bit of that. Interesting. There's going to be that choice where you really have to go within, shut out everyone else's opinions. You can accept their help and their support, but ultimately this is your world, your life, your choice. Okay? A message that's coming through for a very select few of you is like, your body, your choice. Take from that what you may. I'm not sure what that means, but that may be something for you guys to address as well. So potentially unexpected pregnancy that you don't really know what to do with as well for some of you. So just be careful if that's not something that you want. Okay, but so especially because the Artist is it's a very fertile and creative energy. All right, so this is about really, you have the choice to silence the outside world, go within and ask yourself what kind of dream world you want to create, how you want to rebuild from this, like what new crops do you want to grow in this new opportunity that you have? How do you want to transform? What do you want to transform? Or choice number 2 is to block all of that and to stay focused on the past and on what you lost. So this tree is calling out to me, and the tree has to grow up. You guys, it has to grow upwards. But with you focused on the past, it's impossible for this vision to thrive. So there's really a deep need to listen to your messages that are coming through within. Forming a deeper spiritual bond is going to be key for you here as well. I feel called to get one more message here for May. What else? Page of Cups reverse. Look at that. Okay. So Page of Cups, again, we were just talking about dreaming. This is the epitome of the beginning of it's such a dreamy card. It's a very creative card, a very artistic card. So very complementary with this. The Two of Cups talks about soulmates and coming into harmony. So a few of you are really going within and seeing how you want to incorporate this new love interest that could have popped up for you in April into your world and into your existence. So you're just kind of taking pause to really look at this big blessing that you were kind of immediately gifted with after all of this. And that's, honestly, that's how the universe works time and time again. This has happened to me so many times because the universe abhors, it hates a vacuum. It wants to fill it, right? So say I have my hands full. Let's see, I'm gonna use this crystal. This is black obsidian, by the way, which is really, really good for transmuting negative energy. Anyways, I get the feeling that for this pile, there's a fair number of crystal viewers in here because there's been a crystal message that has come through for every single pile now, which is really dope. I love it. But okay, so let's say I really want this crystal here, my rose quartz, love, well-being. Let's say I really want that, but my hands are full with what I already have. This is where tower moments can represent really beautiful transformation and growth and change, because tower moments, this isn't meant for me, because a tower moment will never remove something that is good for you. that is meant for you, that is meant for your soul, that's whole and peaceful and good. It's a tower moment will never destroy that. Okay, those things are safe. They only take away what no longer serves you, things that were based off of lies and illusions and unsturdy foundations, right? Things that don't serve you, things that have just run its course, that's just bad now. So tower moments can be like, say this crystal doesn't serve me anymore, the universe forcing that out of my hands. But now that that's out of my hands, now I have the space. I didn't have the space available before this because I was so preoccupied holding and carrying all of this. And then now that I have that space, the universe can attract in what I want. But this is focus dependent, okay? So focusing on self-love and self-healing is going to increase the chances of this very beautiful potential soulmate relationship that I'm seeing. It doesn't have to be romantic. It can be a really positive friend figure, like a really important close friend. For some of you, this is even like getting a new pet I'm getting, which is dope. I love that. For a lot of you, this will be romantic though. But so the thing is though, is you had to have this cleared out and destroyed. And then you get to be the one who decides, okay, do I want my future foundation? Do I want to just repeat this? Or do I want it to be unhealthy? Or do I want to evolve and grow and create something based off of love? And you can only love someone or something else as much as you love yourself. And as much as you take care of yourself. Your ability to give is limited by how much you are able to give yourself. So there's going to be some self-awareness with that, and some coming into balance with that. And some of you are going to really master that. You're really going to capitalize on this massive opportunity for like something that could have potentially taken you years to master and to evolve to. You're going to have the opportunity to grow into with the span of like 3-4 months, which is dope, honestly. Really deeply uncomfortable, but for that level of change and advancement, I mean, you know, the energy balance has to be there. So this also though can symbolize inner self-love and peace within yourself. This is emotional balance and healing from negative things that have kind of hovered over you in the past. This is positive relationships as well. So really going within, figuring out what you want this May. You can either choose to daydream and to receive that beautiful, artistic, powerful energy, which I say powerful because I see that being a way for you to recenter and to re-tap into that sense of self-control and self-power to be able to face really anything that comes your way, no matter what, which is very empowering and necessary after a tower moment. Or you can choose to block that energy and thus blocking this opportunity for a really great romantic soulmate level potential. If you already are in a relationship, this is just talking about extreme advancement and a much deeper cultivation of like this enrichment of the relationship that you have. It doesn't I'm not strictly seeing anything necessarily new. This could also be greater cultivation with relationships as well. But I mean, we have, this represents, the Two of Hearts represents the Two of Cups. And so seeing that again copied here, it's a good chance for romance. Okay, wow, you guys really want to stay, this energy really wants to stay stuck with these family quarrels, distant, I don't know how to say that, and losses. Okay, well, that's June. There's been a lot of very heavy hitting, powerful messages that have come through. So I'm not going to dive too deep into that. I'm just getting that is going to be something that pops up for you. Now, back of the deck energy for this though is, oh my gosh, it's another tree. What the hell? Comment down below. Let me know, like, if you guys vibe with trees. I know that there are certain, isn't it Celtic? Gaelic. That's so funny because I almost bought an oracle deck the other day that was based off of different trees. Okay, so it was probably for this reading, but I already have so many decks that I have to exercise self-control. Anyways, so fulfillment of highest hopes, good health. So not all bad, okay? That is going to be, it's interesting. Good health, and then we have being vigilant with your health over here. So you're going to be healthy. There are going to be aspects of your life. See where we have the sun rising? So even though there's still going to be complications, overall, because back of the deck energy represents overall energy, you're going to have some hopes that are fulfilled. You're going to feel like the sun is rising again. Yes, there's going to be some family quarrels and or losses, but a lot of that too will be able to be determined with this. This could also indicate if you choose to manifest, you choose to create the dream world that you want by focusing on what you want to grow, and you feed what you want to grow with your thoughts and with your energy, which is why a big way to block it is to focus on the past, on what's already gone, because it's like trying to plant something in soil that doesn't have any nutrients in it. Nothing's going to happen, and it's just going to lead to disappointment. But if you choose to move forward, if you choose the positive aspect of this card that we talked about, the positively charged aspect of this card, then as early as May, you could see this beginning to come into the 3D, manifesting it very quickly and powerfully. Okay. Ooh, July. A new deck. Cool. Ready for it. This will probably be a nice little... This is the universe being like, here you go, bud. All right. It's all coming together. Intuitive hits, Soul Tribe. So this is for July. This is, oh, okay. So this is healing from whatever family quarrels. I wouldn't be too worried about it. It's not going to last super long. And honestly, 10 of Spades represents, so Spades represents swords, and swords is one of the fastest moving energies out of all of the suits, Pentacles being the longest. So that makes sense. I'm actually seeing the ending then. Oh, that's so cool. Okay. The ending of family quarrels. It's going to begin to kind of wrap up. It's going to start to wrap up this May. The end of like painful endings and painful fights, and you guys are finally going to be able to stop clashing, and it's going to be healed, and you're going to be able to come together and just kind of feel that sense of relief in July. And I see you being really grateful for that. Slight resistance for what you want to do, though. There's so much resistance here on change, which is why these messages are probably coming through so intensely and harshly, much to my dismay. I don't like channeling those kind of energies, but the messages are coming through for you for a reason. So who the hell am I to get in the way of that? Okay, let's do August. Yeah, I'm getting a very like kind of energy for July. Ooh, it's too many. Let me get August for pile number 3, please. All right. Ooh, okay. So let's see. This is again talking about creation here. Let me pull one more card. That's too many. We'll take the top card though. So things are gonna start turning up in your favor as long as you keep in control of your thoughts, in the sense of you're moving forward and healing and you're not staying stuck on the past. We have the mastery of your emotions finally coming into play. You're going to be able to stop this, like, you'll be in a very self-soothing energy in August. But again, it's kind of like that, oh, okay, it's over. Because 10s represent endings. And so it's kind of feeling that relief of like, okay, this is like a weight off my back now. Things have come into full completion. And you're really finally stepping into that new positive cycle of life. King of Cups, again, this could be emotional advancement and a reintroduction of playfulness I'm getting also into your life. The King of Cups can be very silly, fun energy. Even though he's a master of his emotions, he has fun. He's very goofy. It's a very light-hearted energy. Because he can be, because his emotions are in balance. So that's a very, very fortunate energy to look forward to. That's very nice. For a lot of you, there's going to be someone romantic that comes in and supports you through all of this, which is really cool. I'm glad that it's interesting that first half of the year we're very like stuck in our comfort zone. And then we start to see expansion later in the year already, and relief. Ooh. Hang on. That didn't feel like your card. September. Challenge and growth. Wow. Okay. Well, in August, you're going to be faced with some options, and there's a lot about self-love too. I mean, no wonder you guys are resistant to change. This is going to be very necessary. By the end of the year, I'm feeling that you guys are going to feel blessed. I don't know why. We'll see what comes up, but I'm feeling by the end of the year, you're going to feel blessed that you went through all of this struggle, because you will have seen the greater purpose that it has served. But there's going to be a challenge that pops up in September. So you're going to have through the summer, late spring into late spring into summer. It's going to be a very fun, nice kind of break for you. And then come September, there's a need to protect yourself and defend what you believe in. 5 of Wands talks about conflict and competition. There is a chance that this is positive competition. So like for those of you who are athletes, there will be an important tournament or match or game or culmination of an event. That word keeps coming through so strongly. I don't understand why, but it's okay. We're rolling with it. So something important sports-wise for my athletes out there in September. Something as simple as that. Students, you guys are going to be starting a challenging new semester. But you're going to have the energy to face forward. And again, you're going to be able actually also to identify that you'll begin to have the perspective where you'll see how these challenges have really helped you grow and transform. And especially after this recovery phase in summer, you're going to be able to face challenges again and be like, fuck you. excuse the language, but that's the energy where it's like, fuck you. No, I am stronger than my challenges. I can attack, like, my, what's it called? It's, the word that's coming through is disabilities. It's not, what is it? I guess we'll just stick with the word challenges. I can attack my challenges. I can attack my blocks. I can push forward no matter what. I'm not going to give up. I am fucking strong. This is a very like kind of energy for September. Yeah, you're gonna fight for your well-being, and you're gonna have gained perspective. This time of healing is gonna allow you to have gained perspective, where you're gonna allow yourself to be a little bit more patient with things. All right, number 10, October. Okay, pile number 3, October. The High Priestess. Interesting. Okay, so October will be chill for you. You'll be able to, you'll really need to listen. Okay, sorry, lots of different messages. Some of you will be going on a trip. Others of you, it's really just a time of enlightenment. You'll be making vast spiritual advancement, which especially makes sense and complements this energy that we saw earlier with perspective on growth. Now, let me take a quick sip of my tea. So yeah, spiritual advancement for a lot of you. You'll be moving into a new phase in your life because it is a major arcana card, the High Priestess. She is the divine feminine of the spiritual realm. So that will be an aspect for you, whether that be, it's really dictated by how deeply embedded you are within the spiritual community. For those of my very non-spiritual types that are just kind of curious, or various other reasons for watching tarot videos, this is you getting in tune with your own like intuition and just trusting your gut and really wanting to see things for how they are. Also, this is you wanting to be prepared for the future so that you can avoid calamities like this and like struggle like this. So you'll really be wanting to get in tune with your intuition. I am seeing this as, despite these waves, honestly, I see you as being at peace with things. This is a very loving and nurturing card. It's almost like Queen of Cups vibes, to be quite honest, which is also like, she is the most nurturing, loving, just warm of the feminine energies. Yeah, so you have that energy to look forward to in October. I do see this energy though carrying over, this need to defend yourself and to still fight for what you want. It will still carry over into October. I am seeing that. But you'll be able to approach it from, again, this new perspective that will be serving you. It will be cementing for you this October. Oh yeah, Queen of Cups energy all day. I love the Queen of Cups energy. It's interesting because from that romantic perspective, for those of you who resonate with that, and again, that could be singles or if you're married, you're in a couple, whatever it is, it's like a strengthening of your bond or the creation of a bond, whichever resonates with you. But the fact that the Queen of Cups energy is coming through so strong, and that is the divine counterpart, like the perfect counterpart for the King of Cups. This is really you being super appreciative and really coming into your own, and things coming into like balance within your relationship, and you finding all of the things that you really truly appreciate about your partner and about yourself, and you integrating those two things into a way that allows your relationship to flourish. Okay, I do see things moving forward for you, but it's a peaceful vibe. It's a peaceful vibe, 100%. This is a big year. Again, you guys are going to be able to look back on this year and be like, holy crap. And this person that's coming through is a reward from the universe. For those of you who this is a romantic person. Okay, November. Ooh. Queen of Swords. Interesting. Okay, so this is very logical, very straightforward. I'm seeing her looking forward, and she's kind of loving these flowers, so that's dope. Again, a lot about like growth and plants and stuff. Some of you might want to get some plant babies to help you through that. I know it helped a lot of people through the pandemic, right? But so the Queen of Swords, it's funny because she in a lot of ways is the exact opposite of the Queen of Cups, who's hyper emotional. When the Queen of Cups is upright, though, it's in a very healthy way, very supportive and nurturing way. The Queen of Swords, no emotion, all logic, very brilliant mind. She's kind of a genius within her own rights, very focused, eyes on the prize. The fact that we have the sword here, the swords always make me think of like cutting through the bullshit and seeing the truth. This is also kind of a victory stance because you're going to be able to, she's so exposed, like she's leaning forward. It's kind of like a heart opening stance that we see that we can use in yoga. So some of you will be investing in yoga and kind of reaping the mental rewards of yoga or meditation or exercise in general. But for most of you, I'm seeing yoga. You'll kind of be getting into that. Yeah, you're going to be looking forward. She looks like a badass too. This is like a warrior who's come through, who's come out the other end. And it doesn't matter if you're a masculine or a feminine watching this. That's just the kind of energy that it carries. So very, very logical, but still, I mean, it's still feminine energy, right? It's still nurturing and receptive. But less emotional, which I'm actually getting is going to be a really nice break for you guys after all of this. After all this turmoil and going through all of this, you'll have this peaceful time. I mean, it will be emotional for you, but it'll be like peaceful emotional. And then you'll finally be coming into this break where you're not going to have to feel everything all the freaking time. Like, which is what is allowing you, it's helping you feel vulnerable again, and strong enough to feel vulnerable again. Vulnerability and advancement and practicality within a relationship, I'm seeing. Some of you will be moving in with your partners this November. Yeah, this is also rebuilding inner strength, like really feeling good about yourself again. Rebuilding your sense of self, because sometimes tower moments can kind of take away or at least challenge aspects of our identity. It looks like that will be replaced with strength by November at the very latest. And looking forward with clarity and logic. And it feels good, honestly. It's very powerful, very smart. You guys are going to be relieved to finally be able to just like look forward with clear thinking. But also, I can't help but notice how this guy, he's very curled in on himself, and he's facing this way. And then she is very open, her body language is the exact opposite, and she's looking forward. So look at all that growth and expansion that's going to happen for you guys. Oh, that's so freaking cool. Oh, that's so good. That gives me chills. Some of you will be returning, which doesn't make sense because November isn't when the semesters start, but returning or starting some new form of studying, or maybe November will be when you get accepted into school, because swords represent like thought, and that can align with logic as well. Okay, last but not least, December. Let's look at December for my pile 3s, my beautiful, strong, resilient, gorgeous pile 3s. Conditioning in reverse. Look at that. You will have broken through the chains, and look at the back of the deck energy. Celebration. See? What was I saying? I was saying that earlier. By the end of the year, you're going to feel so good, and you're going to be able to look back. And look, these girls, they're dancing in the freaking rain because they don't need an excuse to celebrate. It doesn't matter what's going on. It doesn't matter if it's the middle of a storm. They're still able to find joy and happiness and reasons to celebrate. And you'll be really proud of yourself and happy with yourself that you've broken free from this conditioning. This is a lion who thinks that he's a sheep because he's never grown with other lions. All he's ever learned and seen was how sheep function. That was his family dynamic, right? That was his nurture. And I see you breaking free from that. You will have officially, by the end of the year, broken free from that. For those of you who resist this process, it will be harder for you. And that means that this December will be when you're finally like, you know what? I struggled all year. I finally accept that I need to change, that I need to break free, that I am more than strong enough to break free, and that I can see clearly now what I need to do. So for those of you who really, really resist change and you kind of refuse banishing that stagnant energy, and you continue to try and fight to go backwards like we saw here, that means it will take you all year to start that. For those of you who are making these positive choices that we already discussed earlier on, and you embrace the journey and you try your best, okay? It doesn't have to be done perfectly. It's impossible to do anything perfectly. We're human. We're flawed naturally by design. It's a whole part of the growing process. So if you're able to accept that and embrace this, you're going to be celebrating the fact that by the end of the year, you will have broken free from these chains. And that is not something that is short-lived. That will be something that follows you for the rest of your life, which makes sense with the message that was coming through earlier, where I was saying that 2022 will be one of those years that you look back on, you reflect back on a couple of years in the future, where you'll look back and you'll be like, wow, that was a life-changing year. I really owned my power. So we're gonna put this right here. I do feel called to draw one more card in addition. Don't tell the other piles. Any other final messages? Maybe some positive news from my pile 3s. Yoga. Oh my gosh, I love it. I'm sorry. I've been reading tarot for well over 10 years now, and it's still, like, when shit like this happens, it still just hits, man. It just does. Okay, come out of the closet in reverse. So for some of you, that is literal. And that could be what this is talking about. But metaphorically, this card talks about this beautiful, radiant goddess who stays trapped in a cave. She doesn't think she's good enough. She is pretty depressed and isolated, and all the other gods and goddesses try to woo her and convince her to come out of the cage that she's created for herself within this cave that she's hiding in. But eventually she doesn't do it until finally they hold up a mirror to her, and she's able to see her own divine beautiful radiance. And once she's able to see that, then she reemerges into the world. Very profound stuff. So this came up in reverse, which is saying that could be an energy that this is your potential. This is your potential. It's being able to see what you're truly capable of, being able to identify and resonate with that self-love, and really stepping into who you truly are. Also feel free to work with this deity if you feel called to. I'm also getting like focus upon your strengths as you move through this, and avoid running away into toxins. So processing your emotions with alcohol or anything else that's toxic and that doesn't nourish your soul, avoid that as well. Okay, let's wrap this up with some charms really quick for pile number 3. I'm actually getting, there's not going to be a lot of charms though when it comes through for you. Ooh, of course that comes out over there. Okay, I'm sorry. I love this charm. I recently got it. It's just so cute. It's just like this cute little bell. For me, it symbolizes 2 different things. One is just like fun and lightheartedness, which definitely complements this celebration energy. But 2, it also can symbolize being comfortable, getting outside of your comfort zone, especially within like because you feel spiritually safe within like your growth. Let's see. The X, I'm reading this as a 10, which talks about completion. Yeah, the fact that it's fallen over the Tower card, it's just like something is ending in your life that needed to end, and it's going to be very transformative. That's what butterflies symbolize. The top of this acorn also symbolizes completion. Let's see. Froyo. Isn't this cute? Catching up with friends, and also yoga. Oh, okay, so that could be another toxin, so to speak, that you don't want to use to run away, is using food. So something that can help your mental health and that can help your transition process through this and your transformation is making sure that you're picking things that are from the earth, that are real foods. It's real food. You can grow it. You can plant it, right? You can pick it off of a tree or a bush or dig it up from the ground, as opposed to something processed or something. If you can't grow it, you probably shouldn't eat it. It'll also help you get in tune with your body, which is going to help strengthen your spiritual development. So that's a message that's come through twice, 2 or 3, actually 3 times now. So take that or leave it. We have another completion card here. Or not card, sorry, completion. This just symbolizes completion for me. Yoga will help you feel good, and it will really help you manage through stress. I mean, okay, so we have an X here and an X on the Tower card, which is just confirming next month is going to be when your Tower moment happens. Try not to go into it with like an alarmed energy. Just focus on self-care and everything else that we talked about, okay? Go back and take notes if you need to. I'll do that with readings sometimes where I'm like, damn, those were some profound messages that came through. And then when you're stuck and you're feeling overwhelmed emotionally, which can be part of this energy here with the 8 of Wands reversed, you can refer back to the logic aspect of things, and it helps to see the written word. You're gonna have a hard time creating things. This is just thread. This is going to be like the removal of things that have just been hanging on by a thread, and it's going to feel like a lot. I really don't want you guys to feel alarmed, and I'm sending you so much positivity. Like, you have no idea. I've been through this so many times. So, and here I am, and I'm still able to find joy even throughout it, okay? So, it's not like your year is going to be devoid of joy until, like, you know, where we start to see things turning the leaf. This is just when things are going to start to get substantially better, right? But yeah, it's your choice whether or not you want to transform. This is nature's way of stepping in and kind of forcing it. Because even you can choose to transform positively or negatively. But no matter what, the change is happening and you can't go back from it. So you need to stay anchored in that truth, okay? Don't get carried away in negative thoughts. Do your best not to. And stay grounded and rooted in every other aspect of your life. One last thought with the froyo, for me, this also can represent friendships. So you can find support within your communities with things that you're passionate about. It doesn't have to be yoga, although I do see a lot of you meeting cool people that you really vibe with through yoga or some other form of like a meditative exercise or just exercise course in general. We're going to feel really good within that important community. It'll be an important community for you, and it will feel good. It'll feel very good. And yeah, the lotus represents you, just like you're gonna be working on, like you guys are so strong. Like, even though you're going through all this, like the whole time I see you really working on peace. The trick is just understanding that peace is not in staying stagnant. The peace does not come from trying to run backwards. The peace is found in everything else that we talked about in this reading. Okay. Pile number 3s. I would love for you guys to come back throughout the year and like let me know what has come true, what this tower moment is. You can also, the spiritual community online, especially within YouTube, is super supportive as well. It's really beautiful. I've made some beautiful friendships that way. So definitely vibe with that kind of community and that kind of support, and you can find that on this channel. That is important to know. If you did like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It absolutely helps the channel grow, and it helps me know that you want to see more videos like this, more content like this, and that you vibed with it. For any of you that would like a personal reading, I will be supplying my link in the description that will connect you to my Etsy shop. I'm not seeing anything else for you guys, my sweet, beautiful, powerful, strong, empowered pile 3s. I am sending you the best of luck and all of the love and light, and honestly, congratulations in that you're losing something really fucking negative from your life. It may feel unpleasant, but it's so much crap is going to be cleared out from your life, and by the end of the year, you're going to be celebrating it. So congratulations on that. I am happy with that. Okay, pile number 3s, sending you all the love and light. Blessed be.